everybody. Welcome to Metal Movies and Brewskis Live. I'm your host, Matt Burke. This is the 46th show, and yeah, I'm waiting for the fall. Over here in California, everything's on fire, and yeah, it's been a pretty crazy week. Ashes falling from the sky. It's been a hellscape. I noticed it kind of started around here about 20 years ago, back when I was in my early 20s, maybe even 19. Home Depot, working out there in the lot, pushing carts. The sky had ash falling from it, and I didn't even know what the fuck was going on. 20 years prior to that, I never had seen anything like it. It was news to me. But now it's like every year, it just keeps happening again. So, if you guys can give a warm welcome to my host tonight, co-host Brian Christgau.
Sup?
What's up, Brian?
What's going on, man? I think your audio might be a little low.
Oh, really? Damn.
I think so.
Can you hear me pretty good, or you can't?
I can hear you pretty good, but I had to turn the volume up. Now I'm echoing.
Okay.
Now is that you or is that me? I think that's me.
Oh, okay.
Right,
I don't know.
What the fuck am I doing here? Goddamn Luddite.
I got this new. Can you hear me now or no?
No, I mean I can hear you, but I also hear myself echoing.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Do you have the YouTube window open as well?
That's what I was just checking for, because that's the kind of dumbass move that I would make. But no.
If you mute that one, you'll be good, and then just keep the Streamlab open one.
Yeah, no, I mean that's not the case. I think it might be on your end.
Okay, it's probably on my end. I don't know what it is.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I have no idea.
It's all
you can hear me a little bit though, right?
Oh no! You're coming in. You're coming in. But the people in the chat, let us know if Homeboys needs to fuck with his volume.
The volume, yeah. I don't know. Let's see here.
Man, I had the coolest microphone too. I got like one of the nice bitchin' ones, and then my fucking cat just fucking.
Oh man.
Yeah, he knocked that over one too many times, and yeah, fucked my shit up. So now I'm just using the mic that's on the camera.
I got this mug right here. It's got a bunch of it looks like a little bit of Jack Kirby and Buscema mashup of Marvel characters from one of my brother-in-laws. I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. Could always.
That is dope.
These coffee cups just get smashed around here like that's like no one's business, Not because I'm smashing them on the ground, but it's just like they just fall and they break in the sink. I was like, oh,
shit happens.
Yeah,
I hear you.
I was at the I took my kids to the water park, so we stayed the night there at the Great Wolf Lodge. That was fun, but it was crazy, man.
Cool.
There's all the fires, just the you go inside and it's got its own ecosystem. It's a massive like indoor water park.
What is it, like a biosphere?
Yeah, dude. Like the HVAC in there is crazy. It stays like 80 degrees in there. They got all these freaking water slides. They got a beach with waves. They got a surf section too. Olympic pool.
Sick.
They got outside pool. They got bars in there, Dunkin' Donuts, buffets. Pretty cool.
Damn.
Usually go stay the night, and it's tiring though. They got a big moat in there you could walk around in with waterfalls and stuff.
Nice.
It's good.
So you and the family had fun?
Yeah, I'm a little tired to be honest, but not tired, enough to do a stream.
Hell yeah.
Whatchamacallit, I got these new like light bulbs where in my workspace where there's this thing, man, where like if you use yellow, like most lights they're made with like yellow light bulbs, they make you kind of like relaxed and tired, but the white ones, they like really like wake you up and it's like most offices have them,
Yeah.
Oh, we got someone in the back. Oh
Shit.
You guys give a warm welcome to Preston Acevedo to the show.
What's up, yeah.
What up, homie?
Just
now his voice is I think his audio is much louder than yours, so there are some sound issues going on. But
yeah, I have to figure that out, man. I really don't know what it is.
I'm echoing. All the sounds fucked up today.
Am I echoing too?
No.
I am echoing.
Now
I
pitching,
can hear it.
ready, Mona, Yogi, Berra.
Weird.
Yeah.
The sound coming through my headphones is super low too. Like I'm not.
Got this in the mail today.
You got some. What's that? Let me see.
Ooh, Doc Alpha.
Yeah, you know what?
Nice.
Yeah, this is of course written by our friend Lit Devil, and I gotta say the writing is exceptional.
Horrific.
And it's really, really good.
No, Lick did a great job. Yeah, it was kind of touch and go for a minute there.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, a little tame. Not a lot of action. Very, very G-rated. Psych. Yeah,
I'll be honest. The beginning of that book was rough. It was a hard thing to get into, but towards the end, it was just pretty easy.
Dude, really, you had trouble drawing this?
No, that was easy. It was learning how to draw the character. That was the difficult part.
Quick question. Did Essay, our friend Lit Devil, did he write this knowing that you were going to be the artist?
Yeah, we talked about it beforehand, and he was really good about all my suggestions. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I read a fight scene and he had him like, well, he gets hit in the face with a pipe. And I was like, no, he gets hit in the face with a pipe and his jaw flies off and his teeth are broken.
Yes.
He was like, perfect, go with it.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly how you work with Preston. Is he turns up the gnarly. And
well, also, like if I was like, we need to add a page because there's too much going on this page and we need like a big splash page for the like the elevator scene in there.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't supposed to be a splash page.
Right, but that's the thing. You're the artist. You know where the drama is, right? And that's the drama.
Well,
right?
that's part. That's what I think is part of working with somebody on a book.
Mm-hmm.
Is that if you don't contribute to the book other than just doing your job, then I don't think you're really doing your job.
Exactly. You know? Exactly.
But a lot of writers, they don't want you to touch anything. They just want you to do what you're told.
Yeah, well, they're idiots.
And then they bitch and complain about money, like you're spending their money.
God, dude. If there's one thing that can be said about you as an artist is you give motherfuckers their money.
In some ways, too, it's almost like you're kind of turning your back on your artistic side in some ways, because like to be an artist, you got to be like saying something. You got to be mad.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
What's in your heart?
Put some passion into it. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well,
and writers,
you're right, but also sometimes you gotta know when to just shut up and and let things fall where they may. Because
that's a balancing act.
Balancing act.
Like as far as like recently, I've gotten a job where I have to do like this chick, right?
Yeah.
And it's a demon chick.
Oh, that's like new territory.
Well, I suggested she should be like muscular but curvy with big boobs, and her face, has to look like the face can be demonic, but it's got to be like kind of sexy too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They insisted.
Kind of your thing.
Well, they insisted that the demon face looked like the demon from the movie, right? And I'm like, oh, well, like she's it's actually a dude from the movie, but not, and they're like, no, we need that because it's got to blend. I'm like all right, dude.
They've got you. It's just like
no. Well, I mean, I was like, okay, but then you find workarounds, right? Because if I have to do the details, she has no hair and she's got a lumpy head, and stuff like that. Okay, but the shape of the face, I can still give her a heart-shaped face, and kind of, you see what I'm saying? Like you gotta, you just gotta learn how to work the room, I guess.
Right. Like sometimes you have to kind of like do shit, and that's your idea, but make them think it's their idea too.
Sometimes that's it right there.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that's one of the main things with dealing with people in corporate. And also because when I used to do production art, a lot of that was convincing people like, no, you're right. And we should actually do it this way. And it's your idea, right? Like, And they're like, yes. And I was like, I'm glad we could get that going. You know what I'm saying? And because you never want to be like, well, I'm glad you like my idea, because then you kind of tugging at their ego a little bit. And Brian, you should know that you've written like screenplays, right?
Yeah, but nothing that's ever been produced. But
Yeah,
I've
but it
worked
doesn't.
with fuckers
Yeah.
that have written shit for people, and I've been in that position where I'm just like, you have to kind of finesse them.
Mhm.
When I was making short films, like I found like with actors, I had to do that a lot.
Yeah.
Was to make them think that they were doing their thing when they were really doing my thing.
I
They
hate
have to,
fucking
like, do
dealing with
psyops.
actors.
You shouldn't have to do psyops when you're collaborating with somebody. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah.
Dealing with actors is like dealing with children, to be quite honest.
Oh my God.
That like looking in a mirror 24/7.
Oh my God. Vanity, man. Yeah, no, I mean, Dustin Hoffman said that when he was shooting Marathon Man with Sir Laurence Olivier. This is amazing. You say Laurence Olivier these days, nobody even knows who he is. Like,
Dude.
millennials don't even know who he is. And he was like considered the greatest actor in the world at one time.
Yeah.
And Dustin Hoffman, I asked him, like, they were having dinner while they were shooting Marathon Man, and he said, like, why do we do this? And Olivier looked at him and said, look at me, 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 look at me.
Exactly.
He's like, that's why we do it.
Yeah.
That's one of the things, dude. Like working on like a set with actors and stuff like that. Like I realized very quickly, like I do not like these motherfuckers.
No.
And when it comes to that world, I kind of wish I never seen behind the curtain. I think it ruined a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some people, look, a lot of people high on the smell of their own farts and everything. They're the people that are in it because they want to be famous. And then there are the people that are like real artists, right? And crafts people. But they're the exception to the rule. For sure.
Like there was, when I was on the set of SuperCon, right? And they star of the show was that dude from True Blood.
Alexander Skarsgård?
No, he was Snooki's brother in the show.
Oh, see, I've never seen the show.
Yeah, I never watched it. I
Never
wanna
watched
go
Really?
watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like one of the shows that I gotta go back and watch.
Oh, let me find it.
Wolves and shit.
Is it worth watching?
True Blood? Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot, to be honest. That just, it got stupid. The longer anything goes on, it goes from cool to stupid. So
Can potentially if they don't know when to pull the fucking plug. That's for damn sure.
yeah, and I mean, once they introduced werewolves, I was like, this is cool. And I was like, nah, man, they're turning into dogs. That's not a werewolf.
Yeah, it's a sucks.
Oh
Okay.
God, no, when the werewolf turns into like a German Shepherd, you just hear wah wah wah. Whenever that, because I've seen that, like that happened in The Beast Must Die.
A lot of
Yeah.
It's not a Hammer movie; it's an Amicus movie where there's a werewolf break, and you have to guess which one of the characters is the werewolf, right? And it's like this rich guy that's like brought all these people to an island, like they're all suspected werewolves, right? And then finally, the person that's the werewolf turns into a werewolf, and it's an awesome movie.
Yeah.
But then the werewolf is a German Shepherd.
Yeah, that's fucking sucks, dude.
Right.
The guy's name was Ryan Quanti, right? Quanti. And he was Snooki's brother in True Blood. But that dude was so fucking cool, right? Like he's going through there, and he made sure to go and meet each one of the people that were set up, like their booth in SuperCon, right? Like me, he came up, was like, "Hey, dude, what's up?" He's like, "Yeah, I really like this, And he made it a point. And even though he wasn't supposed to take pictures with anybody, if you asked him for a picture, he was automatic. He was there, right? Like, I mean, it was really weird because I never seen anybody like that grateful. You know what I'm saying? And it was in that position.
That's the key. When I remember talking to Fraga, and I asked him because I knew he'd worked with Chow Yun Fat.
Yeah.
And the shit I'd heard about that guy, I didn't ask him like, is Chow Yun Fat cool? I was just like, how cool is Chow Yun?
Well, there was other people too, like Russell Peters, right? The comedian.
Yeah.
He was in there. He was one of the stars of the show.
Yeah.
And at some point during the shooting, they like somebody made the decision, like this area is only for like the main like people involved with the movie and the actors. And I was like, fuck that. I'm going to get some coffee, right? So,
God damn, man.
And Russell Peters and the director were having a talk about MMA. They were like, yeah, dude, fuck, did you see what's his name go after? I was like, yeah, I loved it. And then they fucking ignored me. They were like, why is this motherfucker talking to me? You know what I'm saying? And I swear to God, dude, and I was like, oh, it's like that, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Chow Yun Fat showed up on the set, learned everybody's name, and I mean everybody.
Another person, and I'm
And then he came back the next day and was just like Joe, right?
yeah.
Marie, right? And,
Yeah, that's like that dude, like Ryan Quanten. Like, and another person that did that, but I kind of I definitely pissed him off during the filming was Mike Epps, right?
Okay.
oh, no way.
Yeah, and Mike Epps was cool too. Like he came, but I made a joke, and he got offended and walked away. And I was like, and everybody's like, dude, why'd you do? I was like, fuck him. He's a comedian. He can't take a joke.
He's in the wrong business, dude.
Exactly. That's what I was like.
You were
This
busting
is
his
crazy,
balls.
dude.
He felt like you weren't like.
That's exactly what it was. I was just busting his balls, you know. And he was like, man, and walked off.
Nobody's
I was like,
above having their fucking balls broken. I
yeah,
don't
there
care
was
who the fuck you are.
yeah, and it was just shit like that. Like I don't know. Dude. It's like, you know, and it was really weird. I just I decided like I had enough at some like they wanted me there an extra day, and I was like, I ain't staying. I was like, I'll tell you what. I was like, I'll leave my stuff here, but you know, just make sure nobody touches it. And they're like, okay, because I had to set up all my artwork and stuff like that. They were renting me and my art for a week. Yeah.
And it doesn't take anything to just not be an asshole.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that dude from True Blood, like he was one of the coolest motherfuckers I've ever seen before in my life, dude. Like it was,
cool.
and I'm not a fan of his. Like
Yeah.
True Blood was okay, but it wasn't anything like I was like, oh, I gotta go see it.
Yeah, no, I mean sometimes you meet people that like you're not a fan of, you're not a fan of their work, but they just turn out to be cool people.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you meet people who are a big fan of their work and they turn out to be like complete a-holes.
Did you see that new movie, that new zombie movie called Die Alone?
No.
No.
It's with your boy from Werewolves, right?
Frank Grillo?
Yeah. And I mean, it's got a really fucked up ending, but this is one of the coolest zombie movies. Because the zombies, it's the earth reclaiming, you know, like people, because people's fucked it up enough.
Right.
So the disease,
like my theory. Yeah,
and the disease that infects people turns them into plants, you know, like it has like these growths and they turn, you know, and they turn into these tree zombies or something like that.
That's an idea, man. That's an idea I had.
Well, check it out, dude. Like after they feed, they get their memory back. Right?
Oh.
And it gets really fucked up, you know, because they have pieces of people dripping from their mouth, and they're like,
gnarly.
Yeah,
that's
dude, it's
gnarly.
Memories.
Yeah, dude, it gets fucked up. It's got like it'll leave you with a dark feeling, like at the end, like really. There is no heroes in this movie. It's called Die Alone.
Die Alone.
And it's brand new. Yeah, and there was another one too. It was Don't Look in the Cellar.
Don't Look in the
Cellar. You know, and that's with Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, I like.
And that was pretty good, but it was really, that was another one that was fucked up, dude. Like, really
yeah, but I mean that's the thing about horror. You like horror to be fucked up sometimes.
But it was like a mind fuck. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like because in the end, they don't look in the cellar, but they realize like it was never about the cellar.
Right.
Saying like it was.
Yeah. Good horror fucks with you. That's the thing. Good horror will fuck with you. And I finally got to see the Robert Eggers Nosferatu.
Was it good?
And yeah, I loved it. I that movie is completely fucking bonkers. Starts out like a regular Dracula movie, right?
Right in the throat, though, right in the beginning, right?
Right. Yes. But
that's what I heard. I heard it was like fucked up. Like it was really good.
Like
yeah, and then on Jonathan Harker, Nicholas Hoult. I mean, the names are different, but let's face it, Count Orlok is fucking Dracula, right?
Yeah.
And Renfield is right. We can all agree, right? Pretty much.
Yeah. Of course.
Once he comes to Castle Dracula, and everything just goes completely bonkers, goes completely insane. And the way that Orlok Dracula is shot, all in extreme close-ups, a lot of Leone shots of the eyes, a lot of close-ups of the hands, the way they slowly, gradually reveal this monster to you. And also how Harker it feels like he's like in a dream. Like first he's there, and then suddenly he's there. And there's a lot of actually, you could there's some bits of obviously the original Nosferatu. There's a shot of a cemetery on a beach that's taken right out of the Werner Herzog version. And then there's also a big chunk of Bram Stoker's Dracula in terms of the bonkers nature of the thing. But it's also a balls out fucking horror movie. It's shrill, it's frenzied, it's loud, it's screaming in your fucking face.
Really good.
And Bill Skarsgård, unrecognizable. You completely forget that's him. And it's one of the it's a really original creature design. Yeah. Because
I totally want to see that.
Yeah,
there's some elements.
You have to go see it in the theater.
You gotta see that in the theater. You have to. And I said this to people about the Northman, and they fucking ignored me, and they paid the price.
Yeah.
Eggers, it makes movies for the big screen, and you do want to go see that. Make sure that you're not sitting too far back, because that movie's just all about screaming in your face for about 2 hours and 10 minutes straight.
What are your complaints about it for you personally?
Complaints? I don't know that I have any. I mean, I'll say this. I found it so overwhelming.
Yeah.
It left me feeling so punch drunk that I was just kind of like, oh, shit. Oh, damn. I think I need to see that again.
Yeah, me too.
Right? So I need to see it. So I need to see it again to give it a proper appraisal. But I loved it. I thought it was a balls out horror movie, and it set out to do what I was hoping Eggers was setting out to do, and that is taking gothic horror and making that shit scary.
I figured it was going to be good. I mean, I seen the previews, and I was like,
"This awesome,
is badass." Then again, I seen the previews to Werewolves, and I was like, "This is going to be awesome." I was like, "This is the most horrible piece of shit I've ever seen before."
Yeah, but Werewolves is like a B movie. Werewolves is like a B movie. You understand that going in.
Yeah,
this is like an art film. This is like art house.
Yeah, it is art house.
Yeah,
and it's scary. My complaint is I can't really say what I don't like, because it'll spoil the movie a little bit. I could tell you, Brian, later, but yeah.
Well, you wanted to
really
fight.
Excited about it, dude.
God damn, you were low, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not just me. Okay.
No, did you go in your settings and see if you could turn yourself up?
Yeah, I did. I did that last time, and it's still. I don't know what happened. I have to figure out what it is.
Is there anything clogging your mic hole on your PC? No, I'm serious. Like,
I went in there with the
like Vaseline.
Nah.
KY jelly.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Astroglide.
I'm fucking with it though. But they
had
an interview with Joe Rogan and
I don't know what Brian's talking about.
And Gibson was on there talking about the new Resurrection of the Christ. And half the beginning is going to be the origin of Lucifer and the war in heaven. So for that movie.
I'll be honest, like I'm not like hyped up on like Jesus or anything like that. But I'll tell you this, like,
but the
it was
you're not hyped up for that and the war in heaven.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Like Mel Gibson's like the his movie was good, dude. Like it was really really good. I liked it. I thought it was cool.
I was like, what? Because the resurrection, that's like 30 minutes. Like, what else are you going to do, So it's like, I have to have Lucifer's origin in there and the war in heaven with the angels. I was like, what?
That sounds like the Paradise Lost movie that fucking, what's his face wanted to make. The guy did The Crow.
That he did God.
That's Proyas, yeah.
And I was just like, dude, that's like, I wrote a song about that. That's my jam. It's the rise of Lucifer, rise and fall. And they did a little movie. It's on Netflix now or Prime. It's kind of ass, though. But this is going to be good. And he also said it's going to be like a psychological drug trip. You know what I mean? Also, he said that it's going to be in English, not Aramaic, because it's so fucking heavy. Like, it's so confusing, and a lot of it's interpretation,
Well, also, it's just like, how do you do that and not reference Milton, right?
Exactly.
It's like you have to.
Thanks for stopping by, brother.
Hello, Jason. Mr. Bascom. Yeah, everybody go and sign up for the pre-campaign for Frog G 2. The first one was awesome.
First one was good. Yeah, I bought it, but somebody was doing a review and they were flipping through the book, and I was like, "Holy shit!
Yeah, it's really
fucking top notch in there."
Yeah. Those dudes have got it going on. Like
about now? Am I
Jason
louder
is a
now?
major talent, and then of course Inky. I always refer to him as the sleeping
spot.
giant of our scene.
Am I louder now, guys?
No.
No.
Still muffled home skillet, but
What is it?
You're gonna have to get an external microphone and do that. Yeah.
All right, let me try that. Is this better now?
yeah, wait.
Way better.
All right, let's try that.
Although no, I'm echoing.
Yeah, the echoing's bad.
Echoing's back, huh? Damn.
So
Is that because you don't have headphones in?
Yeah, I took my headphones off.
yeah, you just stick with your settings.
Yeah,
It'll
I'll
work
just keep
out.
fucking with it.
Real quick, went to my LCS this week to drop off some trade paperbacks for them to sell, and stumbled across this, right, which is from like '91, I think.
Damn, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. This is like something that has that '80s, like late '80s indie kind of a vibe to it. Cool black and white art, and that came with these little cards, like little trading cards of the characters and their origins.
Oh, that's cool.
Preston would love this.
Is that a alternate book?
No, this is from let me see, Go Comics. Right, little tiny indie outfit. But what I love about this is that it's very, very 1950s style. Yeah. So when the kid turns into a werewolf, he's supposed to look kind of like Michael Landon in I Was a Teenage Werewolf. Oh yeah, and he goes to school with Roman, from Robot Monster.
Okay,
you know the gorilla body with the spaceman helmet for a head. And then the cheerleaders get turned into vampires, and they look exactly like the vampire design from Blood of Dracula. Like they have like these funky. Wait, I think they're in one of the cards here. Yeah, like right there with the super long eyelashes.
Nice.
And the pointy ears and everything. Yeah, so we always find cool shit at the LCS. But yeah, no, I mean, I dropped off a bunch of books there and just charged them, what I paid for printing and shipping, and they of course can sell that shit, sign the books and everything. That's something that I think that, because I'm not saying that just a fucking virtue signal or something. That's something that we should all. That's something that we should all be doing, especially like the bigger guys. Can you imagine somebody, like Art or Graham or any one of these cats just walking in the LCS and being like, "Hey, do you have any of my shit here you want me to sign?"
That'd be awesome,
right? And
that'd be cool, but
then be like, okay, you can fucking put up the, sell that for like whatever.
I'll be straight with you, dude. If the LCS, if I knew an LCS was going to actually push my book instead of just to put it on the shelf, and just not. Just like push what like Marvel and DC and not worry about indies. Yeah. I would much like it'd be a major incentive for me to champion like LCSs. But the problem is, and this is the thing, dude, I've talked to motherfuckers, like they're like, yeah, we push what sells. But the problem is if you don't push it, it's not going to sell. You know what I'm saying? True. If nobody knows about it, nobody's going to buy it. So
That's true. But this place actually sells comics.
Yeah,
which, like I said, for an LCS in New York, is very unusual. Like I bitched about this before, like how in Rockland County, like 5 LCSs and only one of them sold comics, and they were like all the way in the back, literally in like a dirty little corner, like where the porn would be.
Yeah, they said it's because comics don't sell like they used to.
Well, they don't.
No.
Who wants to fucking read that shit?
Exactly. I totally agree, dude. Like, but you know what? I think the LCS would make like if more LCSs jumped on the indie bandwagon, like they would make a killing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, they would. But that's the thing. It's like we need to reach out to our LCSs, do them little itty bitty solids like that, and help them stay in business.
See the lights.
No LCSs, that affects us all. But yeah, I would especially encourage, like, because I also just thought it was awesome because the dude there said, I keep forgetting the name of the artist. It was the guy who did Ghost Rider for a while. And he had a bunch of issues of Ghost Rider where this guy painted.
Talking about Tex?
Mark
Texiera?
I think so, yeah. He went in and he painted over, like, the covers that he did. Like, in other words, he went in and he painted over, like, a Ghost Rider's flaming skull head.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah, Tex got canceled a while back because of politics.
But
yeah, like it was. They said he did something to piss off the editors, and he doesn't work no more. You know,
or Campy, like one of those motherfuckers.
I have no idea, but I mean, it's not hard.
He got whispered.
I'm saying, like,
networks. It's like, who had fucking Campy?
No, that's exactly what happened. He got Whisper Network, and so he didn't work anymore. And I was like, that's a fucking shame because Tex was the most talented motherfucker out there. I mean, if you read that Sabretooth series he did, the 1 through 4, or checked out the Union books he did for Wildstorm Studios, and fucking not to mention Ghost Rider. If I could put Ghost Rider on the map, dude.
Yeah,
I traded my Todd McFarlane Spider-Man collection for the Ghost Rider collection that Tex was doing at the time. Like that's how into it I was.
Yeah.
I like his Wolverine from that Sabretooth 4.
Yeah, dude.
And
it was bad.
That's what got me into Sabretooth, man. Like I always like Sabretooth more than Wolverine. Can you guys hear me a little more? Is it the same shit?
No, you sound good, dude.
You sound good, bro.
Yeah, and I don't hear any echoing.
No echoing whatsoever.
Am I louder too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They have these new functions in settings for volume. I just clicked on a bunch of them and they're like new. I'm like, all right, click. It's like the New Year thing or something.
Yeah,
I got a little bit of metal news I could share with you guys.
Fuck yeah.
Good.
Let me do this real quick. It's been a minute. It's nice to have you guys on here. Nice to have the three amigos.
Seriously, bro. Thanks for having us.
I didn't know if your link was old or if it was new. So I clicked it real quick to see, and I was like, oh, fuck, I ain't got anything set up. So I dropped out and came back in.
Hell yeah, man.
Thanks for having me. No thanks for having Preston.
Yeah. Well, Brian's he's the milkshake to this rotten Sunday.
You rotten. The former singer of Mushroomhead, there was a band that I was never really into. They had one single that was really dope for whatever it was. I think the guy had a good voice though, or has a good voice. Is
Me too.
He's got cancer now.
What?
His wife, Jeffrey Hatrix, also known as Jeffrey Nothing, formerly the haunting voice and co-founder behind Cleveland's pioneering alternative metal and industrial collective Mushroomhead, is battling cancer just 9 months after losing his wife to the same disease.
Oh, fuck,
earlier today, Jeffrey's daughter launched a GoFundMe campaign. I'm going to have the link for that here in a second, guys. For her father, writing an introductory message. My dad has recently been diagnosed with cancer just months after losing my mom to the same thing. Due to this, we may have to stop working during this treatment. Anything means everything to you. And he's been going through a lot of shit trying to get some royalties and some monies from Mushroomhead. They basically only gave him like a little, like maybe like a $1,200 a week or something like that. There's a big
the band or the record company.
The band. So basically, like last August, Jeffrey Hatrix sued Mushroomhead's drummer and producer Steve Skinny Felton, alleging copyright infringement and failure to pay him royalties that he is owed. Hatrix, who left Mushroomhead in 2018, claimed in the lawsuit, which was obtained by blabbermouth.net, that he had not received royalties for his music for several years at least, despite the fact that he wrote or helped write 148 songs during his time with this band.
Jesus Christ. What a
yeah,
fucking
and so
asshole.
he's seeking like $3 million, and obviously now I'm sure he needed it when his wife was around, and I'm sure he needs it now for himself,
Jesus,
to stay alive.
Another guy,
I remember.
So
Peter David supposedly right now is in like severe financial dire straits because of his health problems, and he's been denied Medicaid and everything.
Right?
Yeah, Peter David. Yeah, he doesn't get any royalty. He had one of the most legendary runs on the Incredible Hulk, right?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Right? Where it was sort of like, Walter Simonson Thor level kind of run, right? And yeah, he doesn't get any royalties from any of the trade paperbacks or any of that shit.
It's a GoFundMe
Yeah,
link.
but, you know, newsflash: the American comic book
Okay,
industry treats its people like shit.
What happened to the because I remember there was a union that everybody paid into where it was like the comic book artist fund back in the day where any of these guys that work, and I'm sure Peter David was part of it. Like if you worked in the industry, you paid into it.
Yeah.
And when you needed help, they gave you, like, they helped you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder if that's gone. You know, like
it might be. It might be. Think about the people that are running the comic book industry now. They're not exactly nice people.
Yeah,
right?
There's no like benefits. Like even that actor, you know, Jaimon Hunsu Amistad, like went on to do a million other movies. He said now, like he's been like nominated for Oscars. He's struggling to find work now. Like that's today. Like I read an article earlier before the show. Like, damn, it's pretty tough out there, you know. Like they don't take care of their own. The comic industry don't take care of their own. You know, the music industry.
Might behoove Peter to move to England or Ireland or something like that, or Canada.
Socialized healthcare, seriously.
Yeah.
Norway would be nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, you know what? Switzerland looks bomb, dude.
Dude, they have. I don't know if you guys watch. Do y'all watch the Legion of Men, like the YouTube channel?
No.
This guy lives in the Philippines or something like that. But he lives there because he used to live in America, but then he moved there because housing was way cheaper, and you can live like a king on, say, about like $1,500, $2,000 a month, right?
Oh,
and he said, look, he said, as far as like comparing like America's medical establishment to the medical establishment here, he was like, you're absolutely right. Like it's dog shit. But he was like, for $300, I can go to a private healthcare, you know, in where he's at. He said it's better than anything the U.S. has. And he was like, that includes blood work, X-rays, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
It was like, and when the bill comes due, it's $300 and you're done. You know.
This is not. Look, this is not a. I learned when my mom got sick. This is not a country where you want to grow old.
No, absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely not. I got
ruthless. It's ruthless that way.
I got something else I wanted to show you guys. I think you might.
Gotta follow the format, Matt.
You might get a kick out of it. I know. I certainly did. I thought it was we got Legacy of Kain, Soul Reavers 1 and 2. I guess pick up the remastered collector's edition. System right now, right? For $150. But you're gonna get a lot of cool shit for like the real collectors out there, like me. I would definitely swoop this up. In the game, I've seen what's his head was playing it live the other day. Razor Fist. It's looking great. And it comes with all this cool stuff right here, man.
Holy shit, does it ever?
Prints and it has a list of the stuff down here below.
What's a sarcophagus? What the fuck?
Yeah,
is that?
dude. It's got a steel book, a soundtrack, double-sided map of Nosgoth. I love Nosgoth. It's got the 10-page mini comic, Melchiah, by our boy on the show right now, Preston Acevedo. It's got a 6-inch 2-piece sarcophagus stand and removable Soul Reaver replica sword. It's got a block puzzle, a Kain metal medallion, a health coin, lenticular pin, and art cards. So I just think it looks dope, man. And I think this game is like the most metal game of all time. The whole
it is very metal.
I'm gonna do you a solid, dude. I'm gonna go ahead and reveal a couple of pages that were I'm not supposed to show to anybody, like, because they told me not to.
That's the thing, folks.
But I'll do it here, and it's not being shared publicly. So, well, it is, but it's not like on social media. So
dude. The art is fucking sick. Like next level sick. Like you're at if you're not at the Bisley level there, you're hovering like just underneath him.
I think Brian's being really kind at the moment.
No,
grasshopper.
No, that's the thing. It's like I always make sure if I give somebody a compliment, it's always authentic. That way, when you need my opinion on something, I can be useful. Like I'm not just stroking you off. No, seriously, dude, you've leveled up yet again.
Yet.
Link in there, but it's kind of
sick.
long. So, but yeah, it's on
so
limited.
metal.
It's on limited run games site. You guys can go there and check it out.
Look on your look in the back room real quick. I got it.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay, cool. I see right here.
Oh,
Right here.
Erection inducing.
Real quick. It's gonna be real quick.
Inducing. So fucking metal.
This is page 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
No, it's not 3. That's 7 and 8. Not 8 and 9.
Damn, bro.
Look at this.
Wait,
Look at this.
4.
Metal.
Holy smacks.
Fucking metal as fuck.
And you're getting the actual legacy of Cain. And this is Cain's legacy. This is Cain's disciples. It's his legacy, you know?
Yeah. And this is probably going to be a go. Like they're in talks with Dark Horse right now to get this thing.
Yes.
Remember my kid brother, man. He had Duma. He had the Duma toy. Duma is one of the disciples of the legacy of Cain.
Really?
So I can't wait for that.
They had toys back in the Disney?
Yeah. It's
No, they did, dude. And those fucking toys are fucking expensive, dude.
They were big and tough. And I got one. I got a little Cain from I forgot, it was like a video game store or something like that. But my little kid, my brother, he had a big Duma, but he could never get Cain or Raziel. They were just.
Dude, you know those fucking things are going for like $300 or $400. Like I was, and that was before. That was when I first got this gig. That's before they actually announced the novel and shit. And the novel, the book, the comics they put out by Wildstorm. Like those fucking things are insanely high too. They were $100 back then.
And they were hard back then too to find.
Yeah, because I was like, well, fuck it. Let me get some more. Yeah, I didn't know Wildstorm did a book, so I was like, fuck it. Let me go ahead and check it out. I was like, fuck, I ain't paying that. It's like Wildstorm, they were dicks anyway. I know they never did justice to it, so I was like, fuck no. And then I went ahead and I was like, well, oh, they got toys. I was like, let me get the toys. And the toys were so fucking expensive.
And now I'm hearing that, because that's the thing. It's like Soul Reaver, but I was always about Blood Omen, right?
Yeah.
The original fucking legacy of Cain was shit. And now I'm hearing that they're gonna do like a revamped version of that. Either way, this franchise, which was just lying fallow for decades practically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
it's back, and it's back in like a major way. It turned out that there was like this huge fucking fan base
apparently
and wants this shit. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, and this is going to sound funny, but I have some information on this. Crystal Dynamics didn't know there was actually a following of Legacy of Cain, right?
That's huge.
And they didn't know the campaign was going to take off like it did, because let's be honest, like when Keanu Reeves ran his campaign for Berserk, he did 1.5 million, right, on that campaign.
Yeah.
And that was during the time when the economy was good. All right.
Yeah.
The economy was far from good when they ran the Soul Reaver campaign, and it topped 1.5 million.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how much of a following they have.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of freaked them out a little bit. Yeah, and that's why they were like, okay, well, we maybe should continue this.
It's the coolest shit ever, dude. Like, there's nothing like it. It's like Lord of the Rings meets Underworld.
Exactly.
And people, it's like most dudes into comics and video games and metal, they fucking love that game, Yeah.
Like, you know what's funny? If you talk to any Soul Reaver fan, and they're like, how'd you get into it? It's usually like I seen the game in the dollar bin at the video game store, and I started playing. I was hooked.
My little brother got me into it.
Yeah,
like Blood Omen 2, and like there's this vampire sucking some blood from across the room telepathically in his mouth.
Legacy of Cain was the first thing that came out, right? Like it was like it was Blood Omen, right?
Blood Omen,
yeah, because that's the first one I played.
Walking around, then the souls are walking around of your victims, and then you can drink their souls.
With Raziel, cool.
And
crazy shit. It was so
nuts.
Awesome and ahead of its time. The very first Blood Omen, man. Oh, so fun.
And well written, and the lore is killer
really well written. That's the thing. It created like this dark fantasy world that you really hadn't seen in video games. You really only saw that in novels. You didn't even really see that kind of a world in comic books.
No.
So it was just like, oh hell yeah, because that's just a very metal subgenre.
Yeah,
and we need to see. We need to have more of it.
And the lore goes deep too, man. There's a whole like YouTube channel. I forgot the name of it. I'm subscribed to. He drops like a Legacy of Cain lore every. He's got.
There's a Legacy of Cain wiki.
Yeah, and there was supposed to be a 3, and the writer, because that's the thing too, they're all written by the same person.
Yeah,
a Japanese chick, I think.
I think so.
I have no idea.
Yeah. It was you're reading this shit and you're thinking like, oh, this has got to be a fucking dude. No, it's a woman.
Yeah.
That,
it's a lady.
Yeah. That, and she had a part 3 planned. And
there's footage of it too. Like they made it, but you weren't Kane or Raziel. It's just like, because the lore is rich.
Kane, please.
It's like the Exiles game. You know, we want to play Conan, but you just could be people in that
world.
There's
no Conan.
Yeah, there's no Conan. But Preston, I didn't know you were going to be on tonight, man. I actually had something else I wanted to show that I think it's pretty dope, man. That a lot of people don't really do, or they're not really into, or they probably just don't even know about it. And yeah, that too. It'd be your guitar, man. You're a guitar smith, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's another. God damn it! I can't talk to you about that. All right.
Yeah.
We'll talk after the show.
This is sick, son. This Hell Knight guitar you got. You know,
dude. Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get rid of it. Like I've been playing that thing ever since I made it, and I'm like, God damn it! I was like, this is like I don't think I've ever done a better job. I'm like, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm just like, because I know I gotta get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, you know when you've done a good job. And the thing is, that thing's fucking beautiful, and it's one of a kind. And that's a thing that always I found interesting about. I've always wondered about artists is like how do you part with your shit? And there's some stuff you're cool with parting with, and some stuff where you're not cool parting with.
It doesn't happen often, but there are times when I'm just like I've sold paintings because I needed the money, and afterwards I was like, why the fuck did I do that? Like the Monkey King that I did, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I actually want to buy it back, but the collector wasn't willing to sell it. And I'm like,
hey man. Like the six gun gorilla.
Yeah.
Right. I told you, I'm just hanging on to that for you.
You know, the Hell Knight logo that I put on that guitar.
Yeah.
It looks like it's branded, but it's not.
Yeah.
I actually used the Dremel tool and carved it in there.
What?
Yeah, with these special bits. And then I went back with a torch and burned it.
Saying, like, how'd you get the scorch marks?
I would have never would have thought that.
Well, I painted the inside of it and with black, right? And then I went on the outside and just torched it to make it look like it was scarred from the torch. And because I kind of wanted it to look like that, like it's branded with the Hell Knight symbol.
Yeah.
No shotgun shell tuners. I made those because I had some shotgun shells I had to get rid of. Yeah.
Those are tuners?
Yeah. Well, knobs, tuner knobs.
Yeah, I just thought that you just put the fucking shotgun
control knobs. That's what it is. Control knobs.
Aesthetic reasons, but
no, those are control knobs.
I'm sorry. Look, you're an idiot if you let this go. How much would you pay for that? How much would you fucking shell out for that?
It's like, well, I'm going to make it expensive, right? But it's still like a custom job like that's pretty expensive.
No.
Tuners on there. The tuners are hip shots. And I carved into the headstock and threw in that death coin,
Yeah.
And
that's
And that's that crucifix on there is a metal skull crucifix where it's a skeleton hanging from the.
You'll hate yourself if you get. Can you make another one of these?
I thought about it. I mean, making guitars, it's something I do on my downtime, right? I never really did it as a business.
Right.
And
but just to not have to part with this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I think if you part with this, you're gonna regret it.
Yeah, I think I might too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, son.
It's gonna be a rough one to get rid of.
It's gonna be on. Son. It might be on this campaign for the Hell Knight. You're gonna be launching in a few months, right?
Yeah.
You better fucking charge an arm and a leg for that fucking thing if you do part with it.
Yeah, that way I can say, it didn't sell. I guess I have to leave it on my wall.
You want to talk a little bit about Hell Knight, maybe a little.
Not right now. I'm still working on it. I got another 6 pages I got to get done with, and that'll put me up to 22 pages for the moment.
Nice.
But I really want to get around 72 pages, and
really,
yeah.
Because I mean, how long was my script? I think my script was about
22 pages, something like that.
Was it really? Was that short?
I think so. Yeah, I'm almost. Let me see. I'll tell you right now. But
because I know always that, because the thing is when I wrote that thing, I wrote it in such a way where I knew, like, you know, you could just fucking stretch shit out where you wanted to stretch it out.
Let's see here. Hold on.
Because that's what you do when you're writing for Preston, is you kind of give him a fun playground.
20 pages. 20 pages.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
So what'll probably happen is the script you gave me, I mean, it's going to be stretched out a bit because I'm going to extend fight scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll probably maybe be able to get up to 40, 45 pages, 48 pages, and probably easily get up to 48 pages with it, because the fight scene's going to last. The next fight scene where he beats the shit out of it, kills everybody in a bar, is going to be at least, you know, it's going to get me up to 31 pages or something like that.
Damn.
That's awesome.
And I'm probably going to have to do a backup story, you know, of how everything happened. Go ahead and
write one if you want me to. And or we could always do you know, Marvel style or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's the thing too. It's like when I get the pages from you, then I can, you know, with a dialogue and everything, riff off of like the shit that you did.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I just want to give people enough to where it's worth what they're going to be paying for.
Yeah.
And
leave them wanting more. Tickle their ass with a feather.
Yeah.
As you're going out the door.
Honestly, if Hell Knight works out, I might just go ahead and continue the Hell Knight series and just keep going with that.
I'm down.
I showed my son about that, and he was like, "That's cool. That's cool, Dad." He's digging that out.
It's cool. You old guys really come up with good shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey man, just look. Cool. People aren't gonna get the dope shit from the fucking LCS. They're not gonna get it from fucking Marvel or DC or Image. Somebody's got
one thing.
Dope shit.
Like I didn't expect was like, did you guys see Creature Commandos?
I watched like the first maybe 2 episodes. I was kind of, I don't know. I didn't really like it that much. I might have to go back and watch it maybe again, but I was just like, I
got like 5 minutes into the first episode, and right off the bat, there was like something woke.
Yeah.
And
was there? Like, I don't.
Peace out.
What was it?
Peace out. Because here's the thing, they've done the bait and switch a billion fucking times. So the moment I catch a whiff of that shit, I'm out the door.
Yeah.
You guys have fucked me too many times.
I got the Creature Commandos comic like back in the day, right?
Yeah, those are dope, dude.
Well, no, it was like the first appearance of the Creature Commandos was back in Kirby's time, right? It was done by one of the granddad Kerbert, right? And
Joe
Kubert. Yeah, and he's the one that started Kubert School for Comics.
Yes.
Anyway, like I got it because I was like, Creature Commandos. I was like, I never heard of that before. Let me get like a nice copy of the first appearance. And back, like, this was in 2020, 2019, and it was super cheap because nobody was doing anything with Creature Commandos.
Right. Yep.
But now that I got it, like, I mean, I'm not getting rid of it, but I was like, well, let me check out the Creature Commandos TV series. And I was actually, like, it was kind of cool. I kind of dug it. The first episode was really hard to get through. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was rough, but then they started exploring the characters, like each one individually. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, that's kind of cool, because it got to like the werewolf ferret type of thing, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And how he was charged with killing 8 kids, you know? Like, and then they did it back because he's laying on a seat and he's twitching, like sleeping, twitching. You know, like, oh, he's dreaming. I wonder what he's dreaming about, you know? And they're like, he's probably dreaming of chasing a ball, but really he was dreaming about these kids, right? And how he was playing with them in a park, and they were in a schoolyard, you know, and they were playing with a ball, and they were like, go fetch. And he was like fetching the ball. Then they had this dude, and he was like, there's a fucking werewolf attacking those kids, you know? So he went home, called the police, got his shotgun, and went to the school. And at this point, the kids went to the basement of the school, and they found like the teacher's liquor, you know? These are like kindergartners and shit. And then the guy goes in there and he starts shooting at the werewolf creature, and he accidentally ignites like the basement, you know, and it explodes, and most of the kids are dead, but the werewolf creature kind of saved this little girl. Then the cops get there, and they're like, he killed all these kids, and he's about to kill a little girl, and then they start shooting at the werewolf, you know, and he's grasping onto this little girl, just trying to get her out of danger, and they start shooting holes into him, right? Like fucking.
That's very James Gunn.
Yeah, dude, it was.
Thing to do.
It was like I was like, this is
for the feels.
Dude, it was
like, remember there's that scene in it's in The Suicide Squad where King Shark he's just discovered the concept of friend, right? Frankenstein shit. And he sees like these little fish in an aquarium, and they're moving with them, and he's just like, they're my friends, and he's playing with them, and then he ends up in the tub with them, in the tank with them, and they turn into these horrible monsters, and they just start biting fucking plugs out of him.
Yeah,
and of course it's Stallone doing the voice, right? And it's just like, oh my god, yeah, no, and it's a heartfelt moment because you're just like, oh no, it's like he's discovered the concept of friend, but now he's also discovered the concept of false friend.
Well, that's another thing too, and that's one thing I kind of like about the series is that they never let you forget these are monsters, right?
Yeah.
Like, and there was
I gotta watch this now. Fuck.
Like the thing about Frankenstein, like they did this whole thing about Frankenstein. Of course, the bride was created by Dr. Frankenstein, and Frankenstein's like, he's all philosopher. Like he's kind of stupid, but he's kind of like a philosopher too, right? I'm talking about the monster. You know?
Is it the DC Comics version of the monster, the one that's always quoted Milton?
Not really, because he's not like the DC's monster. The DC's version of Frankenstein was more sophisticated. You know what I'm saying? This one's not. Yeah. He's kind of an idiot, but kind of like a pseudo intellectual, right?
They got 4 of them in DC, and they all have like different kind of personalities. You know.
Well, this one, like so the doctor creates his bride, and he's like, "Well, we have to teach her," and he goes, "Why? Teaching only gets in the way of." I mean, he goes, "Intelligence only gets in the way of feelings, you know, and shit like that, like really stupid shit." And the doctor's like, "No, we have to teach her, like, you know, how to read." And so he's teaching her. And then one day he's fucking her. Right. Yeah.
Oh,
and Frankenstein's sitting there, like he walks in on her. He's just like standing there, like stunned, and a tear rolls down his eye. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the next day, the bride comes into the lab, and she's got a gift for the doctor, except Frankenstein had mangled the doctor and put him on the operation thing. And he's like twisted and just dead. And he's like, "The doctor isn't in anymore."
Wow.
The bride attacks him, and they get to this big fight, and the fucking lab catches on fire. Frankenstein catches on fire. Well, check it out. Like, they show throughout the years, like how Frankenstein would stalk the bride and trying to prove that he's not a bad guy and shit like that. And he goes, anyway, like, so Frankenstein catches on fire, and as he's leaving the castle, he falls into this ravine, and he floats to this old gypsy woman's cabin. Right? She's blonde, and at first he's kind of an asshole. She's like, "Well, you got to heal, you know, come in." And then she becomes wildly happy with having him around, her and her dog. Right?
Oh, like the blind man, basically.
Yeah, basically, except this is what I'm talking about. Like, they never let you forget that they're monsters, right? Because, like, he would go out and hunt and bring her dog with him. Him and the dog became like best friends. He'd kill a turkey and stuff like that. And then one day she's crying, and he locked the dog outside. And she's like, "Why do you have to leave?" And he's like, "I have to go find my bride." And she goes, "No, come on, we could be happy here." And he's like, I know. It's, you know, we could be very happy here. And he's looking around. He's like feeling stuff, like, you know, pots, stuff like that. And he finds this pot, and she goes, "You're going to leave me alone in this cabin?" And he goes, "I would never leave you alone." And he bashes her head in with the pot. Right?
That's brutal. That must have been like episode 3. I didn't get to that far, but you know what,
dude? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's
he's a really good writer.
It's in
G.I. Robot, like G.I. Robot, dude. The story. I'm not even going to tell you about that, but oh my god, dude, the story on that is so fucking good.
Man, fuck you! I gotta watch this shit now. God
I
damn
gotta
it!
get
It's
that
really
again.
fucking crazy. Like,
It's all canon with the movies too. It's all canon with the movies too. So everything that's in that cartoon is canon with the movies. They're all together now.
Right.
What movie? They got a movie for?
Like,
are you talking about like the DC movies?
Yeah.
The newer ones. So it starts with Superman. So anything that's in Superman, it's like
trailer.
any of those characters in that cartoon could stumble into the movie Superman. So they're still going to be in attire.
Yeah.
The same actors that voiced them are probably going to be playing them, but they're all in the same universe.
Yeah, it's
kind of cool.
It's Gunn's brother, the one that's been in
all of
his movies, who's actually really good. He's like the new Ted Raimi, basically, because he played like the Weasel, the Weasel in the Suicide Squad too. And it looks like it's the same version with like the blue eyes and everything.
Well, I heard that I think that the Suicide Squad is might be canon with this, and also they're gonna make Peacemaker canon, but they're gonna do some shifting around in there because Snyder's Justice League does an appearance in that TV show.
That's
so
right.
They're gonna have to re-canon, but he did say that Peacemaker will be canonical with that. I got
liked it. I like the creature, like the Creature Commandos. Like I didn't think I would. Like I love that. I was like you. Like I put it off and put it off and put it off. I was like, God damn it! Do I really want to check this out? I'm gonna be disappointed. I'm just gonna be disappointed. So
I was waiting for that shit. I was there. I showed up like day one. I was like, and I kind of wanted. I thought they were gonna put them all on TV, you know. And in reality, I do like it when they do release one episode a week because it keeps me like, especially if it's something I like Creature Commandos, Agents of Shade, Howling Commandos. I like all those fucking Universal Monster fight teams, you know. Like I love that shit, bro. You know, everyone does a crack at it, you know.
I was looking forward to it too, right? But I was disappointed by the lineup because I was like,
yeah, me too. Like, where's the Wolfman at? You know, where's the Wolfman?
I was like, Phosphorus? He looks like the Atomic Skull. I was like, and then I was like, and then the Wolfman, I was like, what is that? That's a weasel. You know, I was like, well, and then I'm like Frank Gorillo? I was like, I was like, okay, whatever.
I guess he's the dad, huh? He's the dad of the other one, right?
No, he's the
Rick
leader
Flag's
of the team,
dad, right?
But he's like, who's dad?
He's Rick Flag's dad from Suicide Squad, because I guess Rick Flag died in the Suicide Squad or something like that.
Yeah,
he got murdered.
So that's his dad in there.
Okay,
so it's senior. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool because I never watched the Suicide Squad. I just seen the one Ayer did. And
what happened was I put it on while my wife was doing some stuff, and I was playing with the dog, you know, and I would look up every now and then. I was listening the whole time, and then I just got into it.
Yeah, that's how it happens, right? If it's good, now you have my attention.
Because I had all the episodes, you know what I'm saying? So I just played them back to back, and I was like, oh, dude, now
it's like,
you know what I'm saying?
Now I know to fuck with it. Now I know to fuck with it. It's this like same thing with like X-Men '97. I was like, fuck that shit. And then everybody was getting on my ass, telling me it was dope. Oh, it's like, okay, now I'll go and check it out. But anything else, if I don't hear the good word, no mas. I've been screwed.
No mas. No mas.
No mas. Whatchamacallit, we were gonna have another guest on tonight, Vaughn Coleman, but he couldn't make it. I figured I'd show his campaign. I have it on the thumbnail.
That young prick.
And it's also in the it's also on the top, guys. And this
Vaughn's
right
a really,
here, man.
Is a really cool kid.
It's a fun my comic right now. It's about a hero. Yep. The old Galvanite must be burned away, and can he survive the fire? You've read this book, right, Brian? The first one?
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Nice.
I'm not going to say that it like blew me away, right?
Mm-hmm.
John Longbox's book, also Heroic Tales, really good. Not like, don't expect something on the level of something like the Cryptidnals, but expect something that is solid, professional, confident. And I enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing where he goes. Certainly for a debut, for a first comic, it's very good.
And this is the follow-up to it right here. He's got some dope-ass characters in here, like this Golden Valiant-looking dude.
Yes.
I heard about that one,
It's fucking sick. He's got like this Batman-looking character in here, too, that looks really fucking dope. I've seen on like Twitter. So he's got some dope characters in this world. And then I guess this is the main dude right here. He was telling me some stuff about some of the characters that he's got planned out. It sounds pretty fucking epic.
It really does. It really does. Basically, It's about a kid who gets superpowers, decides he wants to be a superhero, but there's already superheroes out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, he has electricity-based powers that he got from. Well, I'm not going to go too far into the plot. Yeah. With the spoilers, but he looks like he's taking this in an interesting direction, but it's also old school. Vaughn is I got to tell you, man, his knowledge of X-Men lore is deep. For
very well read, huh?
Like his young 20s. I was like, God damn, like, son, you
What
know
up,
your shit.
Phil?
What up, Phil? What's
Hi,
going
brother.
on, man? Speaking of people that know their shit and put out good books, but yeah, no, I recommend the first one, and I'm definitely backing the second.
Nice. So yeah, guys, go check out PHENOMAVOVA. He's up to 87% on Fund My Comic. If you guys want to help him get to the finish line, that'd be awesome. I got the link at the chat, so you guys could check it out. We might have him on here. Might be stopping by one of these days, and figured I'd show that and go stop by, give that dude some support.
For Sheezy.
And then I don't know about you guys, but I got a little metal song for you guys. I haven't heard it.
Oh shit!
So it's gonna be
dude. How come I never hear any goth metal on here? I never hear any Paradise
Lost. I
never hear any Moonspell. I never hear any fucking Theater of Tragedy.
You're gonna have to show me some stuff. You're gonna have to send me some new shit.
I know. I'm just busting your balls.
No. I like to. I have some other things on here too that I wanted to show off, but I keep forgetting. There's a bunch of these crazy different bands from other countries, death metal, goth metal, black metal that I want to show. But I keep forgetting. And then
you ever heard a band called Parasite Inc?
No,
Yeah, you got to check those guys out. They're
pretty dope. This band's called Obscura. They're from Germany, and they're kind of like if you're into death, you're gonna dig them. They got a sick ass fretless bass sound, so you get that. Ooh. Yeah, I like this part. I mean, I like the beginning too. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, that's cool shit.
I like that bass. We got a nice drum set.
Is he playing an 8-string or 7-string?
It might be, yeah.
That's a big ass fucking fretboard.
Yeah. Big head on there. That's this part. The tugs are dope. Yeah. Gonna get down right here with the solo.
Yeah, that's an H string, dude. That's a big ass guitar. This thing's a fucking heavy, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, they weigh a lot.
Yeah. I remember these guys. These guys are pretty dope. I remember what like kind of really like stood out to me was the bass sound. It sounded a lot like dance back in the day. It kind of got me home. They were kind of technical, a lot of death metal.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Dope.
Got myself a nanner.
Nana.
Nanny, nanny, neener, neener. Is it just me, or do you guys hear a lot of Morbid Angel on these days?
A little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Definitely, because they're like technical death metal. So
Yeah.
Morbid
thumbs
Angel
up.
definitely and Death, dude. That
Death,
song's pretty dope.
yeah.
I'm sure if I listened to it
Like
two more
Chuck.
songs, I would like it even more. Well,
Yeah,
that's,
definitely
like for me when
evil Chuck vibe.
they've been around a while, and it feels like I just like listened to them, but it's like no, that was like 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. Because I remember the bass, because like that's how like Death would always have their bass would be out there like that, you know. And this dude getting on there, I think he was playing a fretless bass. It's like, oh, those dudes are from Germany. Oh, that shit's crazy. And a lot of times in metal, they don't lead with bass. Like they don't have intros with bass that like a lot.
Dude, that's so weird. Like
right
when I used to play music, like with we used to play gigs. The best part was having bass solos, like all music would cut out and you just have the bass going, and you come back in. You know what I'm saying?
Metal's all about the rhythm section.
Yeah, dude. And I was like, bass is a cool fucking instrument. If you know, I think mainly I wanted to show off basses because I used to play bass. Like I played bass for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And bass can be fucking amazing, dude. But nobody shows it off.
No, they don't. And I think it's still like underutilized. It's very untapped. And I think if I was to really pick up and try to learn and play and do both at the same time, it would definitely be a bass.
I mean,
it's love, dude.
It's not as easy as you think either.
It's a lot easier to play than a guitar. I mean, even I can kind of keep a beat on a bass.
See, that's the
backbone.
That's the folly.
Yeah.
Because it's not, dude. It's not easier than a guitar.
Well, no,
so because you're only using one finger, right?
Yeah.
But a real bass player, the problem with that is that guitar, like you can like what rhythm you're supposed to play, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Bass and drums keep time in a band, right? Those are the two. But the problem is that bass not only keeps time, it also keeps rhythm. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Like in the bass line, like for a lazy bass player, the lazy bass player is just going to mimic whatever the guitar player's playing, right?
Right.
But that's not the purpose of bass.
Yep.
Bass is supposed to be playing something completely different, but in the
Yes.
same scale as the
Yes.
guitar player.
100%.
You see what I'm saying?
Word. And also, bass virtuosos aren't as common as guitar virtuosos.
No.
Like Mudvayne, I always thought was fucking.
Yeah. That's why
Well,
I
what
like
about
them.
the dude from Iron Maiden? Like that bass, the bass player
that
from Iron
Gallagher.
Maiden was
Yeah.
amazing, dude. Like
Yeah.
he came up with most of the songs that they played. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like him, and then I mean, a lot of people give a lot of flack, but he was cool. He had some cool shit. Les Claypool and Korn's Fieldy. Fieldy would slap that fucker around. Interesting.
Yeah,
Jason
nice
Newsted.
gangly fucking
Yes.
bass strings. Yeah, I like that sound.
This band that we just, there's more. But it's funny, dude. What's funny is in a lot of technical death metal bands, they let their bass players shine a lot. I don't know why.
Dude.
Yeah, it's more like prog rock too.
Yeah, dude.
Like prog rock bands like Gauntlet.
They listen to Roast, dude. A lot of those like Morbid Angel, like technical death metal, like a lot of metal bands.
Geddy Lee.
They listen to
They
Rush.
idolize Geddy Lee.
But yeah, that band was pretty dope. I like listening to like new songs on the show. Like, a lot of people do those big reaction videos, but it's just check it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. To do some
smell monsters.
The monsters.
Yeah.
Monster hunting.
Hell yeah.
I got something for you. So this one right here, this one's called the Gujwi.
The Gujwi? Oh, it's like a Sam Squamch. It's like a Sam Squamch family. Oh shit!
Good.
I think Matt froze. You froze,
Dope.
bro.
Good. Yeah, good. Oh man.
Brian's like, why is Matt ignoring me?
There we go. My back, a little choppy, huh?
Yeah.
Choppy.
You're back though. You're back. Native Americans despise.
So Gujwis are aggressive. Yeah.
So your people
strange
don't
cotton
to these
for a primate, let alone an undiscovered one, leading some to believe it may be misidentified as a werewolf. No, man. Like it's North Americans, or Native Americans despise and fear the creature. In 1995, a man was taking scenic photos in 7 Chutes, Quebec, Canada. Reviewing the photos at home, he noticed that one had a strange figure in it. Sightings of the Gujwe and similar creatures have been reported all throughout the USA and parts of Canada, though they are normally overshadowed by the more popular Bigfoot or types such as Sasquatch. Some say it was a bear, some say it was a dog man or a werewolf, and some say it's just some special type of Bigfoot. I actually have some more, I guess, artist interpretations of the animal right here, or the cryptozoid. I wanted to show you guys, but I think that Bigfoot, or like a Bigfoot mixed with like a werewolf. I mean, that's pretty cool.
No, it is. It's like a little dog man in there.
Yeah,
and it's interesting too, because Dogman and Bigfoot have been known to be like seen with each other or in the same area.
They're probably banging, making one of those.
Making hybrids.
We got some.
That's metal.
The hybrids.
That's what this thing is. Maybe that's what.
Yeah,
this thing
dude.
Is.
Look at this one. Looks
like a love child of Sam.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Werewolf and a Sasquatch.
Bro, you know who some of these look like? They look like Grindel, bro, from the new Grindel movie. Like this one right here.
Yeah.
Is that movie out, or is it?
No. There's no
working
footage.
On it.
There's just been photographs, and I'm telling you, the image that they released of Grendel himself is fucking phenomenal. Like, it captures the character from not from the Beowulf legend, but from the novel by John Gardner. That's what it's based on. It's basically it's the story of Beowulf, but it's told from the point of the monster's point of view. And nobody had ever done anything like that before when that was written. And it's a fucking phenomenal novel. And when I saw that image, I was like, yes, like they got the character.
I think I got a new favorite cryptid, bro.
Whoa!
Some of these are kind of terrifying. Like, they're kind of terrifying to me. Like, I just think of like a Bigfoot with the long snout. It just looks scary as fuck.
Is that a coin? Right above that.
Yeah, it is.
That is. That's pretty. That's pretty bitchin'. I like that.
Because you get that gorilla thing, but then the snout's just bigger. It's just like, fuck
yeah. Yeah, so it's got like
scary.
some werewolf in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this
Love
guy.
those fangs there, man. That's fucking dope.
Oh, man. Get out of here with that, man.
Yeah, man.
Get out of here with that, man.
You ain't fucking with that. Hell no.
Look at this
Hell no.
right here, dude. Look at that. Fuck
oh,
that.
Oh, man. He's fucking buff. He's all fucking swole.
That's a beast.
Swole like a motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. This guy looks...
Look at the traps on this guy.
This guy looks fun to draw, bro.
Yeah, seriously.
That was
a little... Yeah, it's a little bit more ape-like.
You'll be saying that in King Cryptid.
It's kind of like...
Oh, yeah, right?
It's kind of like a Bigfoot with like a little bit of like the face of like a baboon in some.
A little bit. Ooh, that one's got like the face kind of like just like rolled up over the nose, over the snout.
Yeah, that's interesting. Somebody must have done that with a Photoshop or something. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Here's one right
here.
This one's got a bunch of them.
Yeah, that's just a gorilla right there. That's just a gorilla, right? That
versus 6-gun gorilla. That would be that'd be a pretty good team or versus.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to bring the supernatural into that world. I think I'm probably not. It's still going to be kind of like Weird West for sure. But we shall see. And if that 6-gun gorilla Cryptidnals crossover ever happens, of course, that's going to be set in the world of the Cryptidnals. Like we have agreed. Ray and I have discussed that, and we both agreed. It's like, it's going to be Kumba, 6-gun gorilla, going into the world of the man dog.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude! And you got your campaign open right now too.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes.
And you actually have your artist right here, Preston.
Yeah, sure do. Sure do.
Did this badass cover right here.
Yeah, it is.
And the art inside. You guys can still pick it up for a little bit of time. Got this cool dealer cover right here.
Yep.
You got Simbos right here.
Yep.
Siminator.
Yep.
You got some more Preston's art right here, man. I can't wait to read this shit.
Yes, and the first 9 pages or so of the book, which have been colored and lettered, and right now 9 and 10 are in the process of being colored. Obviously, once the colors come in, then they go to the letterer. So I'm hoping to finally fulfill on this book. I'm thinking, I'm hoping March.
Nice. Little St. Patrick's Day action. I can't wait for that.
And there's going to be, and the thing is, there's also going to be, the thing is, it's like this book's really late, but what I always like, if a book is late, is tchotchkes are cool. And I'm going to put little like prints and cards and crap, like stickers and shit like that in there as well. And the Wanda poster and all that crap. But I always like it when I get extra pages. So there's going to be like a backup story. That's going to be, I think I'm going to take your advice and put it like in the end of issue 10 and in the trade paperback. Yeah. And that's going to, and I mean, Jason Orpheus, the guy who did Octopus Cowboy, did the artwork for that, and it's being colored right now. And he did a spectacular job. And I think people are really going to like that story.
Yeah, he's a great artist too. I haven't read that book, but it looked really fucking cool.
Oh, very good.
Check that out eventually.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I hired the guy, because it's like his Old West shit. It's like he'll do the research. He makes sure that everything's like period correct, which I appreciate. So when like, a cult peacemaker is like an important part of the plot, right? Yeah. He draws a cult peacemaker.
Yeah, no, it's important, man. It kind of keeps it gangster and, you know, it keeps it more like lived in. You know what I mean? And then him doing the
Yeah.
research is fucking awesome. You know?
Yeah. So it's like he's going to be coming from a pretty grounded world, but then
Yeah.
once he's in America, he's in kind of like the Weird West.
Hmm.
And
I love the
he
shot right here
died.
of the death birds right here.
The fucking
You know.
vultures, I know.
Yeah.
Those are totally,
Or the vultures.
not my script. Those are totally, I totally did not fucking. This is a case of what what we were talking about before, where the fucking artist has a fucking cool idea.
Or you got to make it look lived in.
Yes.
Yeah, right. It reminds me of the Spaghetti West too. I don't know why those vultures. Feels like I'm in Spaghetti West when I see them. Like it's like I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, Spaghetti West is almost more like purgatory or hell.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. I just get that feel like Leone or or Kabuchi, is directing this.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, there's a definite influence. The one thing though that I've always made sure not to do is to intentionally imitate Leone or to try to do Leone. Because whenever people try to do Leone, they fucking fall flat on their fucking faces. And so I've seen that happen so many fucking times. I know not to even fucking try. It's just like, it's just like, because the thing is, it's just like, remember the opening of fucking Once Upon a Time in the West? Only fucking Leone could fucking pull that shit off. I've seen other people try to do that, and it's just like, no.
They walk out. They walk out of the theater.
Just be. It's just like, let it go. You're never gonna be Leone. Only Leone could be Leone. So let him do his own thing. But of course, there's gonna be an influence. I love those movies.
So we got a little bit of time left. You guys could come over here and back Six Gun Gorilla. You got all the issues you could get, and it's a good time. The book's coming your way. These boys are hard at work on it. I got the link right there in the chat, so you guys come and check it out. A new trailer dropped, I believe, day before yesterday, for this new movie coming out. I think it looks pretty dope. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's been all over. I mean, kind of been all over Twitter. But I looked at it on my phone. I didn't really give it a full watch. But it's from a director that used to put out a lot of movies like every other year that were very cheesy, but they were very entertaining to me. They could have always, I guess, been better. But right now I'm talking about Paul W.S. Anderson that did the Resident Evil movies. He's got a new movie by J.J. Writer of Game of Thrones, and this is the movie that's based off of it. Oh,
that's right. It's the George R.R. Martin joint. Like, finally, they're doing adaptation. Because here's the thing about George R.R. Martin. People don't realize he's not just a fantasy writer. And that he used to fuck with horror, and he used to fuck with science fiction.
This looks like a bit of both, and a little bit of biblical, too. Did you see the trailer for this yet?
I don't think I've seen the trailer, but I've seen the images. I think I read a little bit of an article about it. And I'm actually excited to see this. And Batista is in way too much shit. As long as he's not really the lead, I find.
Did you see Batista currently? Like, he's not on juice anymore, and I think he's taking an Ozempic shot.
Yeah.
He looks looks horrible. Like, he should be in a horror movie.
Right?
This looks like I think he has like fucking 5 movies in the can before he did that, because he's looking kind of big, and in this one he's looking still swole. And the movie, I think this movie has potential to be his best movie. Let's check the trailer out.
He's become
the time in the stomach for it. I've got a story for you. The world you know is gone, consumed by the flames of a great war long ago. All that's left now are the Lost Lands.
Oh, it's Paul W.S. Anderson, that's right.
I'm looking for a guide. Someone who knows the Lost Lands.
And they're still married. They're good for them.
I'm looking for a great treasure. Immense power.
Friends of yours?
I don't have many friends.
Me neither.
What the?
I like that.
Hell yeah.
Find them.
Outside these walls, laws of nature, they don't apply. It won't be easy. Prepare yourself. Here they come.
Her power grows stronger by the day.
Our time is running out.
She has become a symbol of their defiance.
Down with the Overlord!
This woman needs to die.
Hand her over and we'll let you live.
Sorry. She hired me first.
Your fate was sealed when you met me. This is the moment we've been working for.
It's not too late to turn back.
One always has to die.
So, how'd you like my story?
I still don't know how it ends.
Sold.
I don't know, bro. That movie looks pretty dope. Like
Sold.
to me, like it has all this stuff that I like that's in it. Like you can just start naming shit like, oh,
yeah.
that's Mad Max. Oh, that's Priest. You know, oh, that's
Yes.
Resident
Yeah,
Evil.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
I'm
that's
kinda
Gonna Be
digging it.
Alive.
Yeah,
It's
We
got
yeah.
all
both
that
know like it doesn't really matter on the actors or the writer. It's the director.
Yeah,
Director could fuck the whole thing up, or he can make it a great fucking
Right.
movie.
he does that. Like, you know, he could be like from the director of Event Horizon. Then you're like, oh
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Well,
From the director of Resident Evil 3, you're like,
exactly.
that was fun, but you
Right,
know,
right,
it
right,
wasn't
right.
a fucking.
The
you
thing
know,
is, his track record is terrible, but
it's a roller
he
coaster for
does
me.
have
Like,
some bangers. Right?
he's got some fucking
Soldier
bangers,
is a
bro.
banger.
Which one?
Um,
I was gonna say Soldier. Yeah, that was like the one. I was
Yeah,
like, Soldier's
yeah.
like Event
Yeah.
Horizon, best science
Banger.
fiction horror movie. I
Banger.
think
right. So we know he has a. We know that he's capable of a banger.
AVP. That was good.
It was aight.
Not my favorite,
aight.
but it was
It
good.
was aight.
But he's
I like the AVP.
But what's
yeah.
interesting?
Soldier,
What's
I like
Fighters
interesting?
in there were dope.
Well, what's
They're-
interesting is that Mila Jovovich was this skinny little waif-like supermodel,
Yeah.
right? And then she tried going into singing and made like this terrible music. And then she went into acting. And over the course of like, you know, the past like 2 decades, you've seen her become like a legit action movie hero.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where she's always good in those parts. And Batista, who was a horrible actor, clearly has just like worked really, really hard to.
I think it's a director.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
he said in an interview that he was just like he saw himself in his first performance, which is like the man in the with the iron fists.
Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, I fucking suck. Oh, I was so embarrassed."
Oh yeah, no, it's just, you know, he's been getting a lot of experience, you know. It sucks because he
He's
needs to
learning, like,
stay that
short-
size. You know, he wants to play Bane, and I think that kind of ruined him. I think, and then he filmed all these other movies where he's that size still, you know.
Yeah.
But dude, he needs to stay that size. He needs to start putting on the muscle, like, or at least as big as he could be without dying, you know. And he just
Well,
looks,
that's the thing. That's
he
the
wants,
thing.
like Jason was saying, he wants to be taken seriously, and it's like, dude, you're fucking cool, man. You make cool movies, you know. You play cool parts, and this movie looks fucking dope. Like, to me, this looks like his best fucking movie, and he has a cool looking character. You know, he's got the cool costume, he's got the, you know, all the shit, you know.
He's become a genuinely interesting screen presence, which
Yeah,
I never
agree with
thought
that.
I would actually say.
Like Arnold, you know.
Like
I
Arnold.
like him. I think he's badass. To be honest.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
like him too.
I don't have
Jared
anything.
Leto, not so
I didn't
much.
like him in Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought he just wasn't a very good Drax the Destroyer. But
They
kinda
other than
like-
that,
It's a different
underutilized
character. It's
him,
not the character
too.
from the comics.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not. I think in the comics it's a little more cunning, you know. Like,
Well,
he's not-
yeah, and just more.
But in that movie about the zombies in Las Vegas, like he was
Yeah.
really good. I liked him. In that
I never
movie.
saw that. He's got a lot of
Yeah.
like, in the Chronicles of Riddick. I think he was in he was in Riddick. He had a pretty cool little role in there. He's done a lot of shit, you know.
Yeah, he has.
And he's done a lot of trolling against like the right, you know, just to fuck with people. He's done some
Yeah.
stupid shit where that's like, hey, bro, just shut up and make the fucking movies. I mean, but
Exactly.
most actors need to do that anyway, you know. But
Well,
I had a
look,
feeling you guys would dig that trailer.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
looks
yeah.
dope.
and I've never read. I mean, I've read almost everything by George R. R. Martin. I haven't read that. I don't know if it's based on a novel or a novella or a short story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm fucking down for another adaptation of his stuff.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see more. Right?
Oh yeah.
They tried a Night Flyers TV
Oh, really?
series, and I fucking pieced out. It didn't get renewed for a second season. I pieced out after episode 2, I think. It was terrible because the original story, because his jam when I discovered him was gothic science fiction. Science fiction and horror.
Yeah, like that.
Totally fucking melded. And he had this was like the world he created before Westeros. It was a gothic science fiction universe.
Yeah, I know. Like
deep, and it had lore, and there were a bunch of short stories and novels that took place in it.
I feel like he needs to stop fucking with Lord of the Rings. You know, like we all know it's radar Lord of the Rings and a bunch of inbreeding and shit. Like, let's bring on something new. You know what I mean? Let's do that gothic sci-fi shit. You know, the only thing they really get, you don't really get too much of that in in movies too much. You know, like,
but here's the thing.
Like Riddick had it, like with the Underverse and the fucking, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course. I hope that they develop that in the new one. I'm looking forward to that too.
In the Underverse and shit, and it has that shit has massive lore,
dude. Shit. They were metal as fuck.
The necro something like that. The Underverse. Dude.
Yeah.
I watched the video on Marvelous Videos. Dude, it has mad lore. I was like, oh my god, I didn't know. It's just Vin Diesel. He's like, I fucking live for this shit. You know, it's like, well, damn. I guess I see why you live for it. That shit's got some mad lore, bro. Like, I think that was his best character and still is. I think he should be fucking with Riddick. A lot of people hate on it. But it's like, nah, Riddick's the shit. I'll fucking, that's another franchise. I'll watch any of the Riddick movies.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, me too. The Riddick.
Sure.
I think the second one was better than, like the Chronicles of Riddick was better than Near Dark.
Oh yeah. For me, Near Dark was kind of.
Well, they're very different. What they did was they turned him in. David Twohy decided he was going to turn Riddick, the character from that book, from that movie, into Conan in outer space.
That's dope.
A barbarian. I mean, that's absolutely a barbarian character.
Yeah.
And
little Lobo too in the beginning with the long hair.
For sure.
And a little Lobo in there too.
A lot of Dune and shit, and decided, and it just expanded that universe because the original movie was the Pitch Black was just like a little low budget kind of
a little indie house
horror movie.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta head out, and I'll talk to you guys Sunday. Take it easy.
Yeah, for
all
sure,
right,
man.
Good seeing you, brother, man. That fucking bastard.
No, there's a lot of people that do not like Chronicles of Riddick, and then a lot of people that love the movie. I've noticed that it's very divisive. I thought the first movie was cool. But like again, he turns him into Conan. You know, the first movie is kind of first bloody, like kind of Rambo-y, you know, with horror.
Well, the thing about the first movie too is that you're not supposed to know that the story is about him until the very end. You don't know that he's the hero until the very end of the film, really.
Right. Yeah. No, and it's a cool way to introduce a character, right?
It is. It is. And also, I have to say, one of the best stealth Christian movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is definitely. You know, they kind of bring that up too, like in Chronicles of Riddick as well. You know, about how the Underverse is and whatnot, and the way it started, that whole lore with the necro. I forgot, mongers, and then Riddick was pretty cool too. Like Riddick didn't really get that much attention. You know, Batista was in it, and I thought it was a cool movie, and it was very Pitch Black, like, you know.
Well, yeah, went back to its root, went back to the roots.
And I'm like, dude,
like a remake of that.
And it's like once you've opened that fucking lore bottle, you know what I mean, an expanded universe, you know, no pun intended. Like for me, I was like, dude, come on, bro, you can't go back in that bottle. Like the shit's too big now. Like I want to see a big Conan adventure. I mean,
I agree.
We do get those little Conan adventures sometimes where he's fighting a fucking polar bear or like a giant gorilla, like for one issue. So I guess that's cool too, you know. But
but the new shit is supposedly going, but that's the thing too. It's like Chronicles of Riddick didn't bomb. It was a success, but it was a modest success, and so that's why they had a smaller budget for the third one.
Yeah, I'll definitely go see, like, you know, because these fools ain't getting any younger, you know. And I remember when Vin Diesel came out, like he was really respected too, you know, like because he was doing like the Iron Giant, like that was, you know, he kind of like a lot of people didn't know that was him, but like, oh, that's the guy from what was it? No, he had a movie that was like, it was Boiler Room, you know, and then he had he had
Find Me Guilty.
Yeah, that one's good too. Yeah, and then he kind of blew up for a minute, you know, and then Fast and Furious came out, and that was kind of like he kind of peaked right there, I think, you know. And then after that, now he's like making more money. Like he's just destroying, like just making tons of money, right? But he's not doing anything. I don't know. Bloodshot, dude. Very, very like I think that's such a cool character. So fucking awesome. But I thought the movie was garbage. You know, it had some cool little fight scenes in it, but it's worth the watch. But it's just the editing is fucked up. I don't know, and I don't think he's I don't think he's the right character for Bloodshot. I think they should have got somebody else.
Movies? It's like one of those movies where it's like
Bloodshot has this like signature hairstyle that's part of the costume, you know. And he was just bald, and I was like, dude, at least put a fucking wig on like you did Not Guilty, you know, that one movie, you know. Fucking put a wig on him or something, or get it. I don't know. I don't think he was really the right guy for the role, you know. I think he's just sitting on a cool gold mine with Riddick. Like there's a lot he could do.
Oh, for sure.
Him, I would be like fasting like a motherfucker and just like getting ready for Riddick for the rest of my life, just writing them Riddick checks, dude. Like,
well, I mean, that's the thing.
The whole universe.
He left like the Triple X franchise. To do the Riddick thing because
I remember that too. Yeah,
he had faith in that character and realized that character is like really, really dope. Yeah, and it's way more interesting than the characters he was playing in his other in his other movies. But then it didn't really take off. And
he could really lean into that voice, like own the voice, you know, because he's got a cool voice, and it can either be cheesy or it can be fucking cool, you know.
And so the video games are cool too. Escape from Butcher Bay, that's canon, and so is the animated
Dark Fury or something like that.
Dark Fury, yeah.
I never watched that. It looks so good. I love the way that
Chung. It's by the guy who did Aeon Flux.
Oh yeah, dude! I thought because it did look like Phantom a little bit.
It's cool. It's cool,
I think Phantom cool is. I think Phantom would be the one IP that I want to do like in public domain. That's the one That's the one I'm for sure gonna do. Like that was the one that like me and my grandpa were really connected with.
Oh, I love the Phantom.
I got another
side scroller coming out. Did you know that? Yeah.
There's been a lot of lore been dumping too from the movie with Billy Zane that's been dumping all over the internet.
Really?
Like they were saying that when the Phantom when they're working on it, they told him like, hey Zane, you got to work out, you know, do your best, you know, but we're gonna have a padded suit for you, you know, no problem. But he got so buff that like they didn't need to put pads in the suit. So he's buff in that movie, you know. Like for me, someone that's buff is like they got big muscles, but they're not cut. Cut is like you can see all the muscles, and then ripped is like you could see muscles on top of muscles, and you can be buff ripped or you can be skinny ripped. And he was buff in there.
The same thing happened to Christopher Reeve. They had Stuart Freeborn, the special effects artist, the British special effects artist, had like a Superman suit with like fake muscles. But he actually bulked up enough in time where he could look good in the suit.
And they shaved his head too for the movie, so that the Phantom mask would be really tight. So they filmed a lot of So they filmed a lot of the scenes with the hair. Like, and at the end of the movie, they had to film it in reverse because she takes his mask off and he's got hair underneath. You know?
Yeah.
So I was like, that's fucking dope. And then they actually made a costume with the striped like Speedos or whatever the fuck the briefs, you know. And it didn't look good on camera, so they're like, fuck it, to get that shit out of there. Also, it was meant to be a trilogy, Brian. It was meant to be a trilogy, and it didn't make enough money. And I was like, fuck, dude. It kind of felt that way too. Watching it,
it did.
It felt like it was a setup, and it was good. You know, it felt like there was so much more.
It's a shame because that's a really good movie, it just for whatever reason it didn't take off. And I mean, to me, the one thing, the most like seriously, mad crazy respect. You have these motherfuckers that are like can't put the Punisher's skull on his chest.
Oh right? God, someone did that, like, dude.
Are they gonna have him? Are they gonna have like? Right, I was like the Phantom. Like they're gonna have him in that fucking goofy fucking purple costume. Yes, they put him in that fucking goofy fucking purple costume. God bless them.
You gotta have the shorts, dude. I gotta tell you something about the Dolph Lundgren thing. So some dude on YouTube, he took the movie and he CGI'd the skull, like he AI'd the skull on all the scenes, right? And then there's a lot of scenes where like Dolph Lundgren has like Lewis. Yeah, there's a lot of scenes where Lewis Gossett Jr. is in there, and he's like, Punisher's a one-man show. He don't need Lewis Gossett Jr. in here. So I CGI'd him. I took him out of a lot of the scenes. I was like, that fucking gangster. I don't know. I got to find it. And then he's like, yeah, and some of the scenes I got to add a little more shit because it's a little more buckshot, a little more shrapnel and things like that. I'm like, dude, that shit goes hard. but I have to find it. I'll look it up and see where it's at. There's so many videos on YouTube, man. Like now, dude, ever since I got these lights, bro, I've been like staying up late, knocking. Dude, I've been like way more productive getting the white lights. It's crazy. I don't know if you got time to play a guessing game or what. I got that and
absolutely.
All right. That and one more trailer. I found this dope ass trailer. I think you're gonna dig. This one's kind of an easy one, but yeah, I think you should be able to catch it pretty soon. We'll see. Let me see.
Black Metal Decode.
Funeral Mist.
Motherfucker got it in like 2 seconds.
It was an easy one, actually.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to get more easy ones in there too. You know, I like seeing people win. You know, and one day when I become a millionaire, I'll start giving people gifts if they're in the audience. Like you get a bag of popcorn.
You get a Frank Frazetta painting.
Yeah, you get a toothpick or something. I don't know. And then I got this new trailer right here. I think you're gonna dig. If you haven't seen it already, I don't know. We'll check it out. It says Black Metal Decode. I know, man. Are you trying to decode it?
Oh yeah, I just looked it up. It says I fixed the 1989 Punisher.
You found it?
Yeah.
So he should know who that is.
I wonder if that's an entire fan edit or if he just did it as like a goof.
I think he just did it for himself. I mean, I don't know if you could find the edit, but he definitely did it for his person, for his home library, you know.
Oh, it's out there in the ether somewhere, I'm sure.
Check out this movie, bro. I think you're gonna dig it. It's called Devour. This one's called Devour.
Behold, the fall, the collapse of Babylon, fall of the Tower of Man. When the stars careen from the heavens, and the dead walk the earth.
What? Very metal. The hell? This looks completely frenzied. That looked cool.
Hold on a sec.
That looks completely bonkers.
It does, dude. It's got like forts in it and Civil War shit and werewolves and it looks like vampires too.
Fuck it, yeah, man.
Kryptonite.
Always up for a fucking good monster rumble.
That was just that's just. I don't know, man. I think that movie is gonna be fucking cool. I think it's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
we'll see. It could have a really bad fucking script or something like that, but that's enough. That's enough to like get me in the door. You know.
Yes, definitely like a metal chick band. You know, looks like they. You know, it's got some Civil War shit in it and some werewolves and a bunch of cult stuff. The bitch was getting all
medieval castle cults and shit. And yeah.
Fort. I mean, it could have been a castle, but I think it was probably like a Civil War fort. You know.
It looks like something where if it's played straight enough, it'll be like really good. And if it doesn't take if it's too goofy, if it's too From Dusk Till Dawn to Evil Dead 2, then it'll be like insufferable.
Yeah. There's a lot of those. There's a lot of werewolf movies too coming out now, you know. But I did like the transformations in there. They got the balloony and like jaws and
practical
stuff.
Effects, yo.
So now that Preston's gone, you want to talk about Nosferatu a little bit?
I'm pretty much ready to book, unfortunately.
Cool.
We should I'll definitely talk about it tomorrow. Movie we're doing tomorrow, of course, is Let the Right One In. Have you watched it yet?
Yeah, dude. I actually did watch it, but I actually gotta work tomorrow night, dude.
You fuck.
Yeah, I know.
Surrounded by goddamn traitors.
I know, man. I gotta work overnight, and then I gotta go back, and then go back. It's
fuck
crazy.
You very much, Matt. Fuck you very much.
That movie was dope too, man. Because I had never seen the original one. You know,
Yeah, and the thing is, it's cold as fuck in New
perfect
York
for
right
that.
now. And it was
Yeah.
snowing, and I was just like, this is usually like the time of year I like to watch that movie,
Yeah.
right? Because you really feel the cold in that movie, right? And then
good,
people
like,
are
lighting.
like, "Oh, this movie's cold," and I'm like, "No, the world is cold."
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because the emotions are white hot, and yeah, I just I'm crazy about that movie. I think that it's disturbing and fucked up in like all the right ways too. Like, you know, horror is meant to make you uncomfortable sometimes.
Gotta be, man. If you're not uncomfortable,
yeah,
then it's not horror, right?
yeah, pretty much, unless it's like classic Universal Hammer shit, which is kind of cozy, makes you feel like you're throwing like an electric blanket around yourself,
right?
So, but also depends on how hardcore you are. But anyway, dude, thank you so much for having me on. And
for sure, man.
If you can pop in late or whatever, that's cool. If you can't be there, that's cool.
Well, I'm working till like 1 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh fuck! God damn it.
Doing like an overnight type thing.
Me and Preston
what's going on over there, but
fucking Pops like you're making me read these movies. Just like he's the reason why they have to like remake. They have to reshoot entire films just to have them in English. God damn it!
Oh man!
All right, take it easy, brother. I'll talk to you real soon. Peace.
Peace, man. Yeah, man. I also got my book up there, guys, too. Do a little shilling right now. If you guys want to check out my stuff, I have it open on Fund My Comic. It's a Butch Cleaver, and it's right here. It's a gothic splatter punk western. It's about a butcher who gets killed and he's brought back to life by a voodoo curse, and that curse gives him the power to weaponize bone on a molecular level. I got the first 2 issues up right here. They're actually trades, basically. And 1 and 2. The second one, you're going to get the origin of the character. You're going to find out who he is and where he came from and why he does what he does. And the first book, he's being hunted down by this bounty hunter and called the old opossum. And let's just say things don't turn out too well for him. But yeah, once you read that one, you could pick up the second one if you like that. And the art gets a little better each book ahead. And that's the way to do it, man. Just keep growing, getting better, get better at your craft. I got a lot of pages up right here. And yeah, man, I got a lot of tchotchkes that come along with it too. So if you guys want to check that out. And if you're a fan of like Jonah Hex, Vampire Hunter D, a little bit of Swamp Thing, a little bit of Hellboy, a lot of different influences in there. So a little bit of Batman. These are a lot of the cards that are going to come with it. Yeah, that's the old possum right there. Opie, the bounty hunter. The voodoo doll. That's one of the villains in there, the preacher pimp. That Hex's Butch Cleaver, kind of responsible for some of the powers. That's another card right there. Butch riding his bull tour. Butch is a bull boy. He's not a cowboy. And we got Preston that was on the stream earlier. One of his cards right there. It'll come with it. Death Metal Hero too, right there. And you're gonna get that card and a few wanted posters left too, guys. So those are the books right there. And I have links to this campaign. You guys could go to butchcleaver.com. It'll take you right to it. And let's see. I guess I could put it out there right now if you guys want to check it out. Yeah, the dub version, man. That movie's crazy. Yeah, the dub version. That one's gnarly. Can't wait for next year. Like I was saying earlier in the stream, I got these new white bulbs, man. Great for getting work done. it just means all business, you know, because most lights that people have, they're yellow, and it just, that one more like sets the tone for relaxation and, you know, chilling, putting you to sleep. And put in these white bulbs, man, and that's like what they use in offices and whatnot. So all you guys out there working like 9 to 5s, coming home, doing your comic booking, or you're just, you know, doing art or writing, it's a good way to kind of stay awake. But once you get past a certain threshold of time, you're going to be staying up, and it's going to be harder for you to go to sleep. Thinking about maybe putting the link out in the chat if anybody wants to come in. Let's see here. My light changes color, and yeah, I use the white setting. It's great. So you know what I'm talking about. Let's see right here. I'll put it out there if anybody wants to come in for a little bit. Don't normally do that, but yeah, man. A lot of cool movies coming out. Can't wait to check out that one that we just saw the trailer for, Devour, and there's a lot of good movies out there to stream right now too. There's what was that other one too I wanted to check out? There's just so many. Yeah, let's see here. I have no clue. Oh yeah, we were talking about the Devour movie. Yeah, a lot of movies coming out that are just not even in theaters anymore. If you guys haven't seen Nosferatu, I highly recommend that movie. But see it in a pitch black theater, because it's you got to start it off really dark, because when I went and seen it, that movie it was kind of light inside the theater that I was sitting in, and it just kind of ruined it for me a little bit. What's up, Jason?
What's up, man?
How you been, man?
All right. It's a little late, but I thought I'd pop in for a few minutes.
Oh, for sure, man.
Yeah.
You working on some stuff or what?
No, no. I was just going. Oh man, the circular one. I was just going through categorizing one of my last long boxes of comics, because I have this app that Luke recommended. It's pretty dope. So you like you see, so it's a categorized list. So what you do is you can scan in like with a barcode reader, or you can do like a search. So you can search, like type in the title or even the series. Yeah, it's pretty dope. So it'll, some stuff is a little hard to find. And this one was dope though, because I didn't even know I had this, man. So I scanned this one in, and like this is apparently, I mean, it's the first appearance of Grail, I guess, the daughter of Darkseid, but I didn't know this is a newsstand version. Oh, wow. Which I looked it up, dude. This thing is super rare. So I was like, I have a newsstand version of it? Like, I didn't even know, man. I didn't even know I bought a newsstand version. There's a local grocery store up the street from us that like I would say 5-6 years ago they sold comics. So it's possible that's where I got it. So yeah, but yeah, so that's what I was doing. I wasn't really working on anything. I was just cataloging comics. And you know, listening to you guys. So yeah.
Listen to me, jibber jabber.
Yeah, listen to you, Preston, and Brian. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on a piece right now too. I'm gonna do that in a little bit. I was at the water park all day. Just got back.
Nice.
It's fun to do little Saturdays streaming.
Yeah, and, yeah, it's nice that you do the, like, I mean, you stream Saturday nights about, I'd say what, like 90% of the time. You know, like that's kind of your shtick. It's nice to have, like, oh, I know Matt's gonna stream after if I have something I want to watch or something like that. So I'm like, I know Matt's gonna go live. So it's always like, I heard about Scorn because of you. There's a few movies I found because you recommended them. So yeah, your channel's filled with information, my friend.
I try to find like stuff that's coming out that I like, and I try to talk about shit that if I was watching a show, like, oh, I'd like to hear about that, you know? Yeah.
Well, you also like metal. I like metal. I mean, your metal you like is a little heavier sometimes than what I care for, but you like also like I'm not a huge horror guy, but I like action and gore and adventure and stuff. So some stuff you recommend, I'm like, oh, I want to see that. I think I heard about the Nosferatu movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I think I heard about it because of you. So I'm like, oh, I didn't know they're making Nosferatu. That's pretty cool.
I think you dig it. Yeah, I think you dig it. It's a slow burn, and there's a lot of like A lot of dialogue in it, but it's good, dude. When it's good, it's good.
I really liked what was it? Shadow of the Vampire with William Dafoe.
Yeah.
I dug that, man. I thought that was dope. So like I'm not the big like I said, I'm not the biggest horror dude, but I like some like, you know, Aliens, Predators, stuff like that, you know, typical stuff. I'm not a big zombie guy, mainly is what it is.
Me neither. Like they gotta be cool. Like they gotta be really I don't like for me my favorite zombie movie is Return of the Living Dead. And like when you first watch it on the outside, it's just like kind of you think it's kind of cheesy punker with zombies, but when you watch it more and you know, oh, this is from the writer of Aliens, and you know, it's like, oh, okay. You know, it's actually like a sequel to Living Dead, and they're just different zombies, you know, like they're ghoulish, you know.
Yeah, like I also like I liked what was it? It's the comedy one with Woody Harrelson.
Oh, Zombieland?
Yeah, Zombieland, but mainly because I like comedies. So like
Shaun of the Dead was pretty good.
What was that?
Shaun of the Dead was a pretty good one too.
Oh, Shaun of the Dead's great. Yeah, Shaun of the Dead's great. Probably my second favorite zombie movie, but
sounds good.
But yeah, like I mainly am into comedies, so when you mesh them together, you know, I'm like, oh well, I'm definitely gonna watch it now.
It's like perfect.
Yeah, it's like the perfect combination almost. But yeah, it's just mainly because like zombies are just it's like you most of the time anyway, the cliche zombie. Like you just walk away from it. You don't even have to run. Like they're very slow. Like
oh yeah,
not that big of a threat. So I just never really got it. Like I'm more into like vampires and werewolves and stuff like that. Like Frankenstein even. Like those are like cool monsters. But zombies,
yeah, there's not really much to them. They're just kind of boring, right?
Well, like they do change them up sometimes. Like they move super fast. Like yeah, those are kind of creepy. But at the same time, it doesn't make sense. There's practically skeletons. There's no real ligaments or muscle, so it makes sense that they're slow. You know, when they move real fast, it's like this guy's got to have jacked up ligaments, man. I mean, come on.
Like how does that work?
How does that work?
I don't know if you've seen like the what Orlok looks like in the new movie or whatnot.
I just saw like the hands and stuff like that.
Okay, so you haven't seen nothing then. Okay, good. Yeah. So you're in for a new treat, and the movie's it's dope. Like my favorite's Bram Stoker's Dracula, but there's a little bit of that in there.
Come on, you can't dude. Gary Oldman is the greatest actor. Like, yeah, dude. Forget about it.
Yeah, like I was always singing that fool like back in the day, like and no one even knew who he was, and then they kind of knew who he was when Batman Begins came out. And I was like, that's the guy that played Dracula. Like, what are you talking about? Because he was such a chameleon, you know? Like,
he's a chameleon, dude. There's a meme. And it's like just Gary Oldman's face. And like it just describes like a regular day. Like it says you, because it's talking to you. And then describing a regular day is like, then you turn around, director says cut, and you find out you're Gary Oldman. Because he's such a chameleon. He could play anything. It's crazy.
Dude. It's just, and like all the actors, like not all of them, but they're just like, yeah, Gary Oldman. There's like a new like thing too. Who's your favorite actor? Oh, it's like Gary Oldman. And that movie, man, it's just like it's just kind of hard to top because some like a lot of the choices were just good by Coppola. Like, yeah, let's make him a big man bat. Oh, let's make him a man wolf. You know, it's like that's fucking awesome. It's just like metal, you know. Like
it's pretty cool. Yeah,
it's like I don't know. Like that's what I would do. You know what I mean? Like if I made a Dracula movie, it would be part Christopher Lee's like horror Dracula, part Dracula Untold, part Bram Stoker's Dracula, and part Nosferatu, and then I would have like the perfect, you know, you have like a perfect gumbo, like chef's kiss, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably end up watching Nosferatu like when I'll rent it on a streaming platform, maybe.
Yeah, it's worth it. You know, it's an experience kind of in some ways. I would definitely recommend that movie. It was cool. I went to took my wife and watched it, and we dug it.
Yeah, I don't know too many movies that are coming out or have come out that I'm like anxious to go to the theater to see. You know, like I would like to go see Nosferatu, but I don't know too many people who would maybe. So I'm just like, I just wait to rent it. But yeah, I do like going to the theater. You know, it's fun with the experience. You get the popcorn. You know, nothing beats movie popcorn. So, so yeah, but it's just expensive.
Yeah, it is. I luckily have one theater by my house. It's $5.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's cheaper than streaming. You know.
Oh, without a doubt.
Like, okay.
Without a doubt. Yeah. Well, I think one of the theaters here, like they have a Monday like movie night or something like where it's like it is $5 for Monday night, but it's like I get out of work at 8. You know, so it's like by the time I eat dinner, and also we go to the gym after work on Monday, so it's like, well, I got to skip a gym day, which I'm not too adamant about going. Like it's not like I'm like, you know, one of those guys that hits the gym 6 days a week, but So if I skip a day, I skip a day, but I don't really like to. So I'm like, do I skip a day? Do I go see the movie, then eat dinner at, midnight pretty much? Which
Yeah.
is, it's fine for me, but it's not fine for my ride. So yeah. But
Yeah. Yeah. And then like, not only that, sometimes when you get out of work, you might be a little tired and you're like sitting in the dark room. You're like, fuck, I'm falling asleep, like,
yeah, I'm pretty good about it. With movies, if I pay for something to watch, I generally don't fall asleep. I catch myself pretty well. I'll feel tired,
yeah.
but I'll just like sit upright then, because I know if you're sitting upright, you're slightly more uncomfortable, so you have less likely chance of falling asleep.
Or like
So-
you're sitting like that, you like start getting all warm and
Oh,
cozy.
dude, yeah, if
All
you
right.
sit like that, you're done. Forget about it. Don't
I
do
only
that.
drink like a small soda too, because if I get a large one, I'll start running to the bathroom. So like,
Yeah.
if I just get the small soda and the popcorn, it's like perfect.
Yeah, I tend to get like a small soda, and then an extra large pop, or like the bucket of popcorn. I mean, I do
Oh,
share, but I could eat a bucket of popcorn by myself and be good. It's crack. It's
It
so
is,
good.
dude.
It
They
is.
got these seasoning. They got these like cheeses too at the one I'm at.
yeah.
They got like Parmesan and like nacho and like ranch and a bunch of other jazz. Like
Yeah.
she like suicides them. Like she puts all these different ones on there.
Oh no.
And she shakes it up. I'm like, all right, yeah, give me that.
Oh jeez. That's got to be an overbursting load of
I'm like,
flavor, man.
whoa.
Yeah, we used to get because we did it, but when I was married, I used to do that with her, and she liked the cheddar one, obviously the cheddar cheese one, but they might have them at my theater here. I'm not sure, but I like regular. I mean, dude, like at the grocery store, they have the Dundee brand. I don't know if you guys have it out there of like cheddar popcorn or something. That's good. I really like that.
Oh, okay.
That's delicious when you get it at the store. But at the movies, I'm kind of like, I just want the regular popcorn.
Regular
I don't even
popcorn.
put butter on it, no salt, just
That's how it is, huh?
just how it is, and it's to me, it's good enough. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
going to movies, man. It's like it'd be like a hobby. Like me and the wife would go back in the day, like before we had the kids and stuff.
Dude,
we would just go see any movie on Friday. Like there was always like something.
But-
Like at least when we went, there was always something.
But yeah, you're right. And see, back then though, there was always something. There was always
Yeah.
something good or quality. Like it's
Yeah.
hard to. I don't know about you. Like you tend to you showcase trailers of like different things, but do you find, since we watch YouTube more often and do this, you found it harder to find, like, you don't know fully what's coming out anymore? Not just superhero stuff, but like in general. Like
It's
you're
hard.
like, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, but for some reason, I don't know if it's the algorithm or what. But every week I go to look for like dope movies, some dope shit pops up in my algorithm. I'm like, oh,
It-
I don't know why.
Well-
I don't have to search for it. It like knows or something. Like send this shit to Matt Burke. So I'm like, all right, like what the fuck?
It could be the algorithm if you look up enough trailers for like the horror
and
genre
stuff.
and stuff like that. Yeah, the algorithm will kick that in. Because for a while I was on a live music kick, from the 90s and early 2000s of bands that I really like, or bands that I never really got to see. STP, Alice in Chains, stuff like that. So, dude, for like a good month and a half, my homepage was just nothing but live concerts and then a couple comic things, but it was mainly live stuff. I'm like, this is crazy. But it started then suggesting stuff like, Creed 1992. I'm like, I don't want to see that. I'm like, I don't care about that. So I kind of had to tailor it now, so it's get veered away from that. So it's mostly comic stuff, really, but and some metal stuff. But yeah.
Now I get like because I've been looking at a lot of like artists, like just traditional artists, YouTube, and now I'm just getting floods of like artist stuff. That's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool, like the differences between comic book artists that that do comics, right? And then people that are just straight up artists that's their living, and they do paintings and they sell their art, and it's like two totally different things, like very similar, but they're not the same thing, different industry.
That happens with me with the live tab. I'll click to the live tab just to see who's on,
Yeah,
or whoever. And dude, I'll see stuff like a guy was making metal engravings on little tiny coins, like just like slap. I don't know if they were like blanks or something, but little tiny metal coins making engravings. I'm like, this is phenomenal. I couldn't watch. I mean, if I had to watch it, I had to watch it on mute though, because the engraving sound is there, like that. I'm like, I'm like, dude, you're driving me insane. But what the level of detail he was putting into this tiny coin, I'm like, dude, that's ridiculous. So yeah, it's cool to see. And then there are other artists. It'll even suggest live video streams for me to watch. But I click on them sometimes, like, what is this person even drawing? Like, are they doing anything? So sometimes I'm like, I don't know what YouTube is recommending to me. I just don't. So yeah,
Crazy. And then
It's
like the
crazy.
whole format of YouTube it changed in 2025. Like, and they're promoting like people with like 200 subs and shit like that, and they're putting them
Good.
out. Like there's a whole new format like revolution now that's not the same as it used to be. Like a lot of stuff that like a lot of people like that are in our sphere, like YouTube isn't really going after that style anymore. It's weird. Like yeah, it's fucking nuts. Like I've been kind of like doing some research, you know. I'm like, wow, really? Okay. Really going
So
after that.
so it's they're kind of trying to push lower sub channels more. Is like
Yeah.
that what it is? Isn't that so much the content?
It's the content, but like they're looking for content that isn't like really ultimately professional too much. They're looking for more of the vlog style where there's it's coming around. They want stuff that's really really raw. They're also looking for people that are just starting out, and you're taking them with you, but you're selecting one, let's say a profession or a hobby, and you're getting into it, right? And you're taking that audience with you. So if I was to start a new YouTube channel, I could do this, right? And I would say I'm going to do this, and I would bring them with me, and they're going to see everything that I do. They're going to see all my flaws. They're going to see all my failures. It's going to be really raw, and they're going to grow with me, and they're going to learn with me, and they're going to see me succeed, and they're going to come with me on that too. And so YouTube likes that, and so they put those guys out. So that's one of the new formats of YouTube. Like people in our scene, no one in our scene is doing that, but people are doing that on YouTube, and that's just one of the things.
Right.
There's a lot of shit too. I'm just like, oh. Okay.
I wonder if that is partially because they're because YouTube is it's a creative platform. I mean, it is no matter what creative endeavor you're into. So it kind of with the integration of AI and anybody could just type in anything and people can watch it. Maybe they're trying to push more now of people like, hey, you know what, AI's here. I don't care about watching a video of just like an animation. I'm gonna learn how to crochet. Everybody, I'm going to learn how to crochet. This is day one. Follow me on my journey.
No, that would work. They would probably boost you up in there too. Because I'm seeing people like grow pretty quick. Like they're getting to like 1,000 subs like in like a month, 2 months, like pretty quick. And they're just like, oh, I just started my YouTube channel now, And a lot of it too, there's this guy named Scott Sullick or something like that, or I think it's Sullick. He's like a 22-year-old or something, but he's a bodybuilder. He's like Schwarzenegger size. And he's pretty huge.
Oh, Sam Sulek.
Sam Sulek, yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of started, that style of like where it's going around the vlog style where it's filming him and he just puts the shit in the gym and boom, boom, So it really started with him. So he's one of the guys, but there's more to it, it's crazy. But I'm gonna be switching up my content. I'm not really gonna be doing anything like that, but I do have a lot of other things I want to do, you know what I mean? Like, like just some new ideas for this year, but I still got to get some more gear and some tech that I really want to beef up my shit. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Like, I do know, at least, like you said, they did change some rules, or not rules, but like the format, the way they're gearing things. But I do know that in the past anyway, like you'd have to upload, and you did, because I grew my channel pretty big in a short time span because I did this, upload every single day, same time frame, 5 to 10 minute video.
That too.
Yeah. So that is to me the hardest part about all of this is because that's the grind, man. It would take a good 3 to 4 hours to do like what I do. Like if I drew a sketch cover that took me 45 minutes, I then got to make the thumbnail. I got to edit the video. By the time you're all done doing everything, 2.5, 3 hours has gone by. So that's really not too bad. But that's not too bad if you don't do anything else. Like if you like have a full-time job and then you just do that. That's it.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, if I'm just doing those two things, I can't make the comic book. Now the caveat does come into play where you could still do the comic book and just maybe draw a panel, and then have that be the video and not draw but you would have to almost do new panels so people don't you don't spoil too much. So, and then they could watch you create your comic throughout the course of those videos.
Yeah.
Will people get bored of that? I don't like the same thing that you are drawing every single day, same thumbnail almost, because it's the same content. I don't know. I just don't know. I haven't done it, but yeah, that's the trickiest part to me is the uploading every day because I stopped doing it. I don't have the time anymore. So yeah, it's a grind, man. It's a grind. So it's like that's the trickiest part of the whole thing is the everyday aspect of it. It's a job. It's a full time.
It's weird too, and it's like almost the most important thing too, to a certain degree for us. But it's not, but it is, because it's like we have to have an audience to sell our books to, or to get. If we're not selling them, they have to read them, and we have to have a readership. So it's like a real like catch, like damn, like, and that's in the back of the head. You know what I mean? There's different ways you can go about doing it, but just in the way the world is right now, like say if you came on the scene right now, right, but with the same skills that you have, like in your art, you ask the question like, okay, am I going to get more followers if people are watching me like post a sick ass drawing once a week, or am I going to get more followers if I post 3 panels of a story once a week, and I'm continuing the story 3 panels once a week? Who do you think is going to grow faster, the person with the story or the person with the dope art, maybe, or just decent art?
It does depend on what people are looking for, though. Like the story, more people would be like, okay, well, I could watch this person make their story every day, and they get the story as it goes. That's cool, but let's say the work is it's mediocre, it's good, it's average, but it's not. But then you get you get a Frazetta guy painting, and he uploads 1 a week. That'll be dope to watch too. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
I think the story guy. I think the
story guy would grow faster for sure.
Yes, for sure. I know that too, because there's this lady that didn't know how to draw, and she built her she built her comic book scene with that. She was just a writer, and she taught herself how to draw, and she did just her story, And I always go back and forth. Like, you can ask me like, what's more important, the art or the story? You know what I mean? And I think at the end of the day, for sure, it's a story, dude. I mean, obviously the cover is going to sell it, and obviously the good story is going to bring people back. But at the end of the day, story does trump the art, in my opinion. Now, like right now, currently January 2025, that's my opinion right now. Like it's fucking annoying too, because I know comic books, it's a visual medium. We hear that turn around. It's a visual medium, motherfucker. You know what I mean? I know, and I agree. But it's also like, damn, it is a story too. Like to me, it's more important.
Like, and we have this discussion all the time. Usually, in just manner, obviously. Like Ink Spots and I will joke around and be like, writers don't matter, they're irrelevant, they're pointless. Like, we joke around. Writers are obviously, important in this game. But like, this is a great one of the great things that has always been discussed, and will always be discussed in comics anyway. Like a novel, obviously the writing is the most important thing. But in comics, see, I have the opposite opinion. I think the art is the most important thing, and the story can't totally suck, without a doubt. Like, if the story totally sucks, even if the art is Da Vinci every day, they're not coming back. They're just not coming back, know?
Yeah.
So if the story's garbage, it has to be at least mediocre. And then they'd be like, well, the writing's mad, but the artwork is McFarlane even said he said he used Da Vinci, I think, but he even said, he's like, I can if I have Da Vinci draw my comic and my grandma write it, people come back. He's like, but if a dog is drawing my comic and Stephen King is writing it, he's like, I'm gonna get nobody. He's like, nobody's coming back. So and he's got a point, but you have a point as well. There's plenty of people who just like I use this example all the time because it's just ridiculous. Like Bean World from Image. Like, that was just ridiculous. The art was garbage. Like, forget about it. But it's a fun little story. It's just a fun little thing. Dude. So it is personal taste. Yeah. But being an artist myself, I just like the visual medium of the whole thing. I do want a good story. Like, dude, here's a great example. Spawn. Yeah. Like, the story, meh.
I don't really, but the art's fun.
Nobody's really reading Spawn. Dude.
I'm hearing Gunslinger is the shit, but it's like I don't really exactly. I agree with you. It's not there.
Well, but then there's plenty of comics out there that the artwork was. Look at Preacher, Steve Dillon. I like his artwork. It's good,
but ain't. It's not Tommy Farmer,
dude. It's not Preston. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So, but you have Garth Ennis writing it, so people are gonna come back.
And it's gonna sell like gangbusters, right?
Like gangbusters. So
I'm just like, and like I just like was thinking, like, if it was a new guy coming on the scene, if I put out like a decent 3-page story, and I'm like, okay, guys, it's free, every week, dude. Like you're gonna blow up, and your audience is gonna build, And it's something I'll never do because that's just not my style. But it's something like to think about. You know what I mean? Like I don't do that, But like, damn.
If you can pull it off, and I know you say you don't do it, but if you can pull it off and you do that, the great thing about that is then you can double dip, because let's say you put it up for free as you go, and then later on, like you even put it up online for free, but then later on you do a printed edition of the collection, and then you crowdfund it, or you just even do a limited print run of like 100 of them, and you just pay for it yourself. Like that's it. It's just 100. That's it.
There's like a part of me that wants to do that at some point, like a year. You know what I mean? And think of this dope ass story that I could just, have a cool character, switch up my art style for that. Like, dude, did you ever read Headlopper?
No, but I know of it.
The story's the shit. The art isn't really it's kind of Mignola with some other kind of anime-ish sort of kidsy, but it's fucking dope. The storyline's fucking
Inkspot loves Headlopper.
Fucking dope. And dude like broke it down to a science. Like he hit it the right time in Image at the time, like when the industry was still decent at the time, where you could come into Image, he would put out a book quarterly, 60 pages, and he would do it all himself. And I'm like, that's how you fucking do it. You kind of strip everything down to just the black and white squares and shapes, and like Mignola, do a cool character, cool barbarian, and there wasn't really any barbarian shit on the market at the time. And then you have Image, and they were really, and so what that did was it made him relevant in the mainstream. But then now he could do his name's out there. So once your name's out there, your name's out there, and you're gonna get cover gigs in mainstream. Once you have a cool character, it'll pay off forever.
I think he was on with Krager and Will on Strictly not Strictly I can't remember the name of their show now. But yeah, I mean, they have a Monday night thing that's at 11 my time, so 7 your time.
Like ink something like that.
No, it's not ink something.
I'm on something. This is the one with that one guy that I forget his name, dude.
It was Jason Krager and Will Perdomo, and then they have a guest on.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know.
Yeah, I think the Headlopper guy was on with that. I could be wrong. I think he was on.
He's
there.
Good though, man.
He's good.
Great story.
But like what you're talking about, like even with like maybe do 3 videos a week or whatever, you upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of what Dan Fraga did with The Grave. He did a trading card, so it's a panel, so a trading card size panel, like drawing every day for 365 days. Like, this Dan Fraga, he's a monster, so he's a lunatic. But so he did these little panels every day, and then once he was done, like he put it up on Instagram for free. It's still there. Everybody can go to The Grave right now on Instagram and read the book. But he also did a printed version of it. So you could then have the physical copy of it. So that's not it's something like something like maybe Fraga did. So it's not a bad idea to do.
It's like you take a year.
It would take a
year. You know what? I'm going to do this for a year.
Well, if you did, let's say you did a page a week, even like you draw it live, and then you release the page at the end of the week digitally. So you could do a 48 pager in under a year. Then after all that, you can even do, all right, you did that. Now here, I'm going to put up on Etsy 50 copies of it, limited to 50. I printed them myself, $25 each. There you go. Like, there's your thing. Because in all reality, it's not an insane cost. It still costs a bit of money. I'm not going to say it doesn't, but it's not a totally insane cost to print just 50, 20, as limited as you want. Make it affordable for you. Make it black and white so it's more affordable to print.
Yeah.
You could sell, 25, 20, whatever price point you want to put it at, and just make it a limited number run. That way you don't have an insane amount of overprint if you don't sell out. And also you have a physical copy to take with you to cons, and people bought some on top of it. And you already have it done. So you got
the audience is going to be there. They're going to be watching you, dude, because it's consistent and it's engaging,
Yes. And not only that.
He's like, I'm going to take a year off and do this. Like, fuck my comics. I'm just going to do that. Like, you know what I mean?
In a way, you're not. Like, let's say you were to do Butch Cleaver 3 this way.
Yeah.
It's not a totally bad idea. Dude, a page a week. We can all do a page a week. Like, we really can. Yeah. So if you were to work Butch Cleaver 3 that way,
Yeah.
And like you could crowdfund it at the end. That putting a limited print run would be for something that's just a fun little book. But you
Right.
could grow your channel if you did like even upload a 5-minute, 10-minute video of you working on a page every single day, or even do you would time lapse it probably because it might take you like 45 minutes to an hour to draw that day or whatever it may be. So you speed it up. So you upload one of those videos or 3 videos every a week, and then put the page up digitally. Dude, you're gonna grow your channel because people are gonna watch you work on it.
It's there all the time.
All the time, and then on top of that, you're gonna offer it to to them in a digital format every week. So they're gonna come back every week to see you work on it. And then at the end of the day, your audience will get bigger on here. You have more people you have more people to pitch the physical copy to, and they're gonna want it.
Yeah, it's a great idea, and it's like,
idea.
And it's a win-win situation. Like, but it's like I just can't do it mentally. Like I can't say I'm going to do that. And I'm thinking about it, dude. Well, for me, it's like I'm like, to me, I have to like plan that out for a year. Like I'm going to do this, and I'm going to stop doing everything else, And it's something I've been thinking about, And it because you got to have that audience. Like people got to be there. They got to show up, and they got to be invested in you.
Oh yeah,
they got to care about your work, And at the end of the day, you have to give them something.
You can work on like you said. Free. Well, like you said, it's going to take time to develop the idea. Let's say you wanted to do Bush Cleaver 3 that way. You got to plot out the script and do the Bible, do everything. So it's going to take you time to do all that. So you do all that in the background and just do what you've been doing. The whole time. So you don't really take a day off. You do what you've been doing. So yeah, and then next, yeah, do the live streaming. Even do like your review videos that you do. I love those, by the way.
Really?
Oh, dude, those are great because I can't really read that well because of my eyes. So I watch your show, so I can be like, oh, so that's what's going on in Conan. So yeah, because I mainly just look at the artwork because I said, I have to use my phone camera zoomed in maximum almost in order to read every bubble. So it takes me way too long to read something. Like you're looking at a good 2 hours, an hour and a half maybe to read a 24 pager. So I don't even bother doing it anymore.
I tried switching that format up too, like doing it on the computer and just like letting people see my monitor. But then there's something about like, I don't know, I like flipping through the pages too.
I like flipping through the pages. Yeah, I like the way you do it. Yeah. Flipping through it, you read some of it, and you're like, I don't want to spoil it, which is cool. You don't spoil it. I like hard. That. No, I know, and you want to. I get it. So yeah, no, I like your reviews are dope. I mean, and I like those. I think more people need to do reviews of mainstream and indie. Like they both need to be there. So yeah.
And the indie ones are a tightrope too. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to spoil it, and then like I don't, I just review stuff. Like I don't critique stuff. So
right.
I'm just showing you the stuff that I show you the stuff that I like. And
that's
and
what it should be.
I'm not critiquing it too much.
Right, and that's for your channel. That's a good thing to do, to just review it, because if you critique it, let's say you critique it and you say one wrong thing, like, oh, I didn't like the way he drew this gun. Now all of a sudden you got the dude on you like, why didn't you like my thing? It's like, so it's just a little better to go about being like, I'm going to review it and not let someone else critique it in that regard. Yeah. I'm going to review it, tell you what I liked about it. And it's a positive thing also. There's a lot of negative crap on YouTube. So yeah.
And it's like, oh, really? Oh, okay. What are your credentials? What have you done? What mark have you made in the industry?
Oh,
who the fuck are you to tell me?
I've only been drawn. Yeah, I've only been doing artwork for 30 years. I don't know anything. What do I know?
Like, you don't know shit. What books have you put out? Who have you worked with? But I mean, and it's like, you got a point. You got a point. So it's like, so I just try to, how I run it. You know what I mean?
The thing with that is, like, you have a point, but you don't. Like, you're a fan. So if you're like, well, if you're like, I didn't like the writing, I thought this character was weak and stuff like that, your credentials are jack. Who cares?
Yeah,
you're a fan. So your opinion, not just you, I'm using the royal you.
Yeah.
Your opinion is pivotal at that point to help the creator or whoever make a better product. Like with Absolute, I heard a couple people say, well, I didn't like this about this. I didn't like that. I was like, oh, cool. Thank you for letting me know. Now I can know I need to work on that, or I needed to change this. I needed to fix this. So it's integral to, in my opinion. Now there's plenty of people who can't take a critique to save their lives, and they want to know your credentials at that point. It's like, well, my credentials are I bought your book and I'm a fan. So
how many books have you put out? Like, oh, well, I put out this and this and this. All right. Well, how many people sold it? Okay. Well, how many people backed it? Okay. Were those cheer backs?
Dude.
Were those cheerleader backs? Like
Cheerleader backs.
Were those cheers? Or
Okay.
like, you know.
My
so,
whole point is how long have you been an artist?
Yeah, me. Well, I've been drawing since I was 4 years old, but it's like trying to take it professional. Probably about, and making comics. So I've been making comics since 2014
not just
or 15. But
well, even still,
really, it's hard to say.
Not just comics. Surely, because you were in a band before. Did you do the flyers for the band? Did you do stuff like that?
Yeah, I
album
designed
art?
it. Yeah, on a couple of the bands I did. Yeah.
See, there you go. You have years and years and years of experience being an artist. So you have experience. Just because your pathway didn't happen to be lucky enough to go to the direction of professional album artist or professional musician or professional comic artist, quote unquote. Just because your circumstances didn't lead you in that direction doesn't mean you don't have knowledge or experience. It's all like, sorry I didn't grind away and do 24 pages a month. Still, dude, I've been doing stuff since I've been 18 years old. So I got years and decades of experience. I kind of know what I'm talking about.
And there's shit you probably know about that you don't even do. Like there's techniques that you know how to do, but you don't do. And you could speak on behalf of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's stuff that I know that I don't ever fucking do. And I know I'm supposed to do it. And there's stuff that like I choose not to do, And there's stuff that I don't know how to do and I can explain it.
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
And I brushed on it in one of my videos, and it also doesn't matter because if somebody harps on you like, oh, what's your experience? You're like they're talking to me. Your artwork looks like all wonky and stuff. It's like, what's your experience? It's like, okay, well, you're talking taste. You're talking a subjective view of what you like. Yeah, you think it's garbage, but it's stylized for a reason. Your work is stylized for a reason. It looks that way because you want it to, or even you think the aesthetics fit right, or that's how you work, and it's just a way you're comfortable with. So that's a subjective viewpoint. It's good to someone else. So like my experience is jack. It doesn't matter and all. You can, dude. There, like I say a million times, there's somebody out there no one's ever heard of, no one's ever seen. He's not online, and he's one of the best in the world.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of immortal like perfect
bunch of them, dude.
Like godlike artists
godlike.
out there,
you'll never know. You'll never know.
You'll never
but
know. He's like sitting in a cave somewhere, like
but he's one of the he's better than Alex Ross. You'll never know because he didn't have the fortune to have that. Maybe he has a sick family and he's got to work on the farm his whole life to to make ends meet.
It's like, dude, that's he's like, oh yeah, that was Tuesday.
And the thing is, let's say then this dude then puts out a comic book. We'll use comic book because that's what we're using.
Yeah.
So then this guy puts out a comic book. Let's say somebody, oh, you don't have experience enough to do this. What are you doing? But yet he's the best ever. It's like your experience is jacked. There is a quality to things. And just because you don't have a name doesn't mean you're no good. So
you know who that reminds me of a little bit? I know it's going to sound kind of fucked up, but he's very humble about his art. It just reminds me of him, but he's just like, oh yeah, thanks. Rob Willis. Like he'll do this like badass like piece, and he's like, yeah, I don't know, I was doing this and did it,
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? What were you like on? Like, how'd you do that? Like, it's so clean, like his inks, Like, what the fuck? Did you
he's a pretty humble dude. He's a pretty humble dude.
Like when I see him, on the auctions and shit.
Mm-hmm. Like, he's a pretty humble dude. And he's got a family that he takes care of, and I think it does keep him humble at that point as well. He's been through a lot in life. I think that makes you humble as well. You go through a lot in life. You have other things that are important in life. So when you're good at doing something that is technically not a necessity in living, you're like, oh, thanks, I really appreciate. Like David Finch,
like the best guy in the scene, I'd say. You know what I mean? And like our bubble, like at the end of there's a lot of good guys, but like he's got that pro look that he could contend with guys and still bring forth his own style. You know what I mean? It's fucking weird.
I think Preston is one of the best. I think Preston is
in my top. I mean, not just because he's my homie, and I ain't blowing.
No, without a doubt. I mean, dude,
he's in my top 3 favorites. Like right now, my top 3 favorites, and I love Bernie and Frazetta, but right now it's Bisley, Kyle Hotz, and Preston. Those are my top 3.
Dude, Hotz is so good.
Like I'll just tell you, those are my top 3 favorite artists right now.
And like you said, we're not saying it because dude. We're fortunate enough that he's a cool enough dude that he wants to hang out with us. You know what I mean? Like he's a cool cat, and yeah, we're just fortunate enough to be friends with Preston. So, you know, and stuff like that. So like even look at Shelby. Shelby's dope. You know, he's insanely talented.
Yeah.
So there's a lot like in Rob, like you just said, Rob Willis, and like there's a lot of insanely talented cats. Willis is insanely good. He needs to work on speed, obviously, but there is some times where some of his stuff gets lost. You know, he overly renders, it's too much detail, way too much detail sometimes, and in the background he puts too much in, and then it gets lost. Now, this is a critique. It's a positive, negative critique. It's like, you know, like the rest, dude, he's insane. Forget about. I can never draw like that. Like, forget about it. He's phenomenal, but even he's comic industry pro level good.
Yeah.
If I were to see a cover by him for the Hulk, I would buy it. But if I were to see the backgrounds, like I'd be like, oh, I kind of wish like that Hulk is dope, but I wish that cityscape was a little less detailed. Like I could still say that. I could say that about Jim Lee, Tom McFarlane. I can say that about anybody because I'm a fan, and your criticism is kind of important to help things get better. So yeah, that's just me. But you're right. Rob Willis is one of the best in the indie scene. So like he's phenomenal. Forget about it. You know, but we're fortunate enough to hang out with these cats. I think, and it just helps us become better artists on top of it. Like it does.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm always trying to because I think for me like I'm always just gonna try to get better till I die, and hopefully I'll keep working on my art forever. You know, that's my goal. I actually want to become a painter. That's my goal.
Oh, nice.
I want to be a painter. I want to move from comics to like painting. I want to do like 20 books about that, and then I want to move into painting.
No, when you say painting, you mean like Frazetta, like big paintings, or
straight
like
up Frazetta style shit. Straight up Frazetta,
Nice.
like no bullshit. That's the shit I want to do.
That's dope stuff, man.
So.
The coolest thing about that kind of stuff is like you could do those paintings, and also you get novel work, you know, cover novels and stuff like that, like fantasy novels and stuff. And AI is a conversation that'll always be in this until like 60 years when everybody's like, you know, accustomed. But like I don't think that'll ever stop happening where people see, wow, look what Matt Burke just painted. I want that to be my cover. I want to hire him as I don't think that'll ever stop. People are going to want human-made products.
Yeah, Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I think for a few years, I don't know how many years, but I think, ultimately, I agree with you 100%, and that's going to happen. But I think right now, for a little bit, and it's going to get even worse, right? And then they're going to have to like kind of come back and really think like, oh damn, I really miss those little nuances to human art, you know. And I think then after a while, it's going to kind of level out a little bit. You know what I mean? But I still don't think it's gotten to the really bad part. And I think that bad part, it could be 2 years, it could be 20 years. You know what I mean? As far as like AI taking all the jobs of, you know, or a lot of jobs. But I think eventually it's going to like plateau, and then it's going to be like, oh yeah, you know, and then the human artists will get about the same.
If you look at it, it's the same as the Industrial Revolution. You know, everybody thought, oh, all this, and you know, we're gonna lose all of our jobs. Yeah, a lot of people lost jobs because machines came in and took the part of that job role. But as humans, we adapt, and so we were like, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and do this instead of that because this machine replaced my job. I'm gonna do the thing the machine kind of can't do. So AI will probably be able to do everything, but a human's going to be like, well, AI can do everything. I want to hire somebody that is customized in that field that adds a certain touch of human to it. They add a human part to things.
Can't put my finger on it, but I'm going to hire this human on this. You know, I think
exactly.
It's down to that.
Yeah,
you know?
And it's a lot of it is going to be like I do get like if we'll use bands. Like a local band, they're playing at, you know, a generic bar up the road. They want a flyer. Oh, you didn't have to bring that up, man. But thank you. They want a flyer and something like that. They ain't got 2 pennies to scrape together. Well, I could generate an AI image, print it up, I'll be good. Like I do get it's you know, stuff like it. But what flip to that coin, they could have learned a new trait of making artwork or collage or using something because they could be like, oh, I can't afford an artist, I'm gonna do it myself. So you're going to end up maybe losing a couple things, but you'll be gaining a few things as well. So.
Oh yeah, man. And I actually plan on like covering just AI with in art and comics. Like that's going to be a big focal point of my channel, dude.
Yeah, it'll be a topic of conversation for a long time.
Forever. And it's like I'm really like 100% against it. I hate it, but
I was like that too. I'm more like, I want to say 80-20 maybe. Like it has uses, but it never use it in your thing. You know what I mean? Like it's just like let's say I wanted to find a reference. Somebody else said this. I don't want to name them because I don't know if they want to let it be told.
Yeah.
But let's say I want to find a reference of somebody, jumping off a building, kicking down with an Uzi in their hand. It's kind of hard to find a photo reference of that.
Can't find it.
Can't find it. So if you do it right, so if you type it into AI, use the prompts, but you like kind of look at it as like, oh, that's what it, and you don't, you obviously don't trace it or whatever. You don't even homage it, but like you get, oh, that's where the knee would be. Okay, cool. Then you just you do your thing. It's good for a reference. I would never use it in my stuff. Now, granted, I have never even used it yet. I don't even know how to work it. I don't know how to do it, and I'm fine with that. But I could see it having a usage of some kind for right now.
I was thinking about that the other day because I'm like working on this angle, and it's obviously force perspective, and it's a customized thing, and the angle at which it's at, like I can't, my brain just can't compute the angle, and
Right.
it's like this blade coming at you, and it's got all these little spikes, and I could see it from a profile, I could see it looking down, I could, but at this shot, I have no idea which way the blades are going because they're at a curve too at the same time, and you know what I mean. But if I did like the AI thing, or then it would work. But it's like,
or even still, even like I know artists that use 3D models in that regard, but they'll use it to look at it.
Yeah,
like, that's what I have to do. They don't trace it, but they look at, that's what I know. Plenty of artists that do that. Now, once you integrate it into the thing and trace over it, you're done. You lost me.
Yeah.
Like, nope. That's cheating. That's not your thing. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword. And for right now, like I said, I'm 80-20 on AI. So
no, I hear you. Like, and I know about that. Like me personally, like I won't do that, but I could see like that's I think like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just for me too. And it's like for me, I would like there's certain things where it's like, okay, I could see why you'd want to trace that. Like say, what's his name? Ethan. He would trace things sometimes, like a stadium, a specific stadium. For
it makes sense at that point.
And you're on the grind, and you're gonna trace that one little stadium. I'll allow it. For me,
I'm okay with
I wouldn't
that.
do it, and I'm cool with that. But for me, I wouldn't do it. I would draw it all fucked up, and I'd have it. It would be like that's just me. Like I'm just kind of like that. Like, hey, Matt, you're gonna draw this shit fucked up. It's not gonna look right, and I'm stubborn about that.
Right.
But I understand. Like for me, like that's the type of thing that like I don't know, man. I'm just like a fucking asshole about it.
No, and that's fine. I totally understand that as well. It makes sense to me. And but the counter argument was a valid one. Like, if you have a stadium or let's say a giant cityscape that,
it has to be specific.
Yeah. Yeah. It has to be a specific location or specific thing. Now, I'm okay. I'm a little more okay with that.
Yeah.
Like something that ridiculous. Now, if you're tracing an entire photo, the people, the cars, the building, you're nope, done. Done.
Not even a collage, you know what I mean?
Not even a collage, you're just tracing. Like, forget about it.
And then so there's that, right? And then there's the whole point of me, like where I'm just like a consumer reading a story. You know what I mean? And if you just like there's a couple pages, like I'm not gonna give a fuck because I'm invested in the story. And that's like a whole different like side topic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have all these different like compartmentalized like issues on comic book art and what you can get away with and what you can't get away with and what I like and what I would do and what I wouldn't do. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, that's also all up to the creator.
Yeah.
Like the person buying the book, they're not gonna know.
Hey, and I'll tell you another one. Right now, the modern audiences, the younger ones, the normies, a lot of them, dude, that aren't really into like comics too much. Like let's say the guys that are like in their 30s and older, right? The newer audience, they don't give a fuck if it's AI. They don't care. They don't care. The story is entertaining to them. I promise. Yeah.
Well, they care. They don't care if it's AI, but they care if it looks good.
Yeah, they do care if it looks good. Yeah, it's got to look good for sure, dude.
Yeah.
It's got to be good AI. And but the thing is, they won't even really talk about it. Like it's not even like a subject matter, I mean, it has to be like let's say that the kid that's 20 years old or 16-year-old, because there's 16-year-old hardcore comic book fans out there that know the artists, they know what AI is, they fucking hate AI. They're out there, dude. They exist. You know, kids that are fucking, they know more lore. There's kids on YouTube that know way more shit from comics from the 60s and 70s than I do.
I've forgotten so much throughout.
I forgot more than I know about all kinds of shit.
This is what I hate about hanging out with like Ink, Plague, Luke, and all them. Their comic lore is pretty good. It's vast, and Shelby and all them. Dude, I'm like, I blank.
Exact way.
I blank. I'm like,
you know why? You know why it's like that? But it's fucking weird. You know why? It's because it's our as creators, our minds are processors. They're not storage banks. There's no way you can store all that. A lot of people can, but just regular. You know, the human mind is a processor. It's not a storage. It's not a memory storage.
Yeah,
you know?
people function differently. So you know, I just like I can remember certain things that people are like, how do you even remember that? I'm like, I don't know, I just do. You know, and then there's plenty of people like Rex, Devil Flyer, dude. He'll pull up a comic and he'll just be like, yeah, on page 24. Yeah. I'm like, dude, you're crazy how you know these things. Yeah. So yeah.
I was bringing up your since you're here, man. Can you talk a little bit about the Frog G, the service key, a little bit?
No, I'm kidding. It's a continuation, obviously, of from Frog 1. So here is it. I mean, Frog 1's been out for a bit, but here he travels with the angler pirate fish guy who's my version, not just mine, but Inkspot's writes it too, but and creates him, right? Does all the jazz, but it's our version of Karan, the boatman. So nice. So he's taking him up the river, so it's like River Styx. So he's taking him to the gateway into the abyss, and once he's there, he's got to traverse through the landscape, find the Cerberus, defeat the Cerberus, get the key to unlock the door, and travel through to the next stage to find Cernunnos and get him dead so he can become a human again. So awesome. It's going to be 48 pages. I'm on page 18 right now, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm on 18. Ink's only behind in colors because we're kind of he's going to have eye surgery in February because of I think he's got cataracts with the glaucoma, or cataracts because of diabetes or whatever. So he's going to have surgery to correct one of his eyes, so at least he'll be able to, so he can see the colors better. He still, forget about it, his colors are still phenomenal, but who knows, once he gets the surgery, he might look back and be like, oh, these are terrible. Like, it's all on him. It's all on his opinion and how he views his colors. So so that's why he's a little further behind than me, because I'm like, dude, just wait. You want to color stuff, fine, but I don't care if you don't work on it. Like, I get it, because we're not going to launch until it's fully finished.
Yeah, or at least
we're not rushing it, but we're not going to launch until we're like 90% to 100% finished. Like, that way there's no delay. Now, I said 48 page of story. We're talking, Hockey's doing a 8 to 12 page. We're going to call it a supplemental for now of the Voodoo Priestess. We might have that in the back of the book.
That's
so
awesome.
It might be like a 60 page comic.
That's how you do it, man. Little lore on one of the characters in the back, Well, I love that shit.
Well, with book 1, like I think you got the Cernunnos tale. For book 1. Ink drew that. I inked it. With that, like, that was a supplemental. People had to add it on or buy it or do whatever. This way, like, it saves us on the printing cost of having to print something else, will then and then that'll save the cost on the entire book itself. So we're thinking about doing it that way. But we want to keep it saddle stitched, so it's going to be tricky. We got to figure out. After a certain page count, you can't. So
that's tricky.
It's tricky. So we're trying to hash that out right now. But we want everything to go into the book. We kind of don't. We're not looking for any stretch goals. We may, like I said, this is still in the infancy stage. We may do trading cards because we have artwork from other people. We wanted to put that in the back of the book, but like I said, if there's an additional 8 to 12 pages and we can't saddle stitch past that, we can't put those pieces then in the back of the book.
Then it turns into a side book, possibly.
The extra pieces, then we could be like, okay, well, they'll just be trading cards at that point. like the reason being trading cards are fairly affordable unless they're like specialized. So, like we have the foil card that you get if you sign up and then you back because you'll get a secret perk link, and then you back with that link, you'll get the trading card, the foil trading card. So, we're thinking about having it be the Christopher John piece that he did. Ink is going to color it. People may not know who Christopher John is. He's an insanely talented illustrator. Was around for a lot back in the day with Frege and all of us, and he's a family man. So kind of, he watches a lot of these streams. He's a fan of everybody. He's a wonderful human being. So, but phenomenal artist.
Yeah, he's got some dope art. Very, very kinetic and frenetic. A lot of energy.
Dude. Yeah, a lot of energy.
That's what I like in artists. Like, that's how I've been going for like the last, I don't know, decade or half a decade.
Oh yeah,
the energy guys. You're an energy guy, by the way.
Yeah,
I think.
Thanks, man. I mean, I try to like it shows in my work stuff like Shaq, Keith, and like the guys Sienkiewicz, like the guys that are just kind of more out there. I'm just more accustomed to working that way as well. Like it just comes naturally. Now I can draw a more natural comic books style. I just don't. It's a little longer. It takes a little longer for me. I can do it. I could do a regular Batman just fine if I wanted to. I just think I like having, like you said, the energy. I like having the weird forms and the shapes and the movement. I don't. Yeah. So that's what I like. And
me too.
And Ink's the same way. He likes that kind of cartoony stuff, like the McFarlane. Have Spider-Man all lanky and in odd positions and stuff because it's more fun. Dude, these are comics.
I like the scratch. The scratchiness that you
do. Dude, it's fun. It's
the
fun.
Scratchiness and also the rendering style that
Thanks,
you do.
Man. Yeah. I'm still playing around with things, like trying to figure out like places to hold back on the rendering because I do tend to over render as well. I'm guilty of it. But working on this helps a lot because I leave blank spots for Ink to play. Because the way we work is like I'll do a lot of the line art in foreground and tend to leave the background for him. Sometimes I'll draw in a background if I'm, just feeling like it needs to be fully just more set there. But plenty of times, dude, I just leave blank spots just for ink spots to just have fun with it because he's another one of those guys that likes the loose, colorful aesthetic and the energy and just to play around. So that's what makes this book just way more fun and enjoyable. Because like I said, these are comics. To me, they should be fun to look at, fun to read. I always say making comics is serious, but comics are not serious. Now,
100%, yeah,
dude. There's things like Watchmen and Dark Knight. Like there's some serious content out there, but it's still a fun thing to read and ingest. So yeah.
And to me, I just see it like, and it should be like kind of, I mean, at its infancy, just like a fun, entertaining experience that's quick, like pulpy almost. You know what I mean? Like you get in there, boom, boom. But at the same time, it could be then you add more and more on top of that. But that's where you start. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, with me, even like I've had plenty of pages where I'm like, oh, it was only 4 hours. I'm done. Oh, okay, cool. Then I've had plenty of pages like, dude, I spent 14 hours already. I'm still working on this. So,
yeah, definitely.
It all depends on what you're working, and the piece that you do and the story. So, yeah, that's what a lot of like the regular normal humans that just buy the product, the fans, they don't understand a lot of what really fully goes. Dude, I had a friend. I mean, she's not a comic collector at all in the slightest, but she's a friend of mine. She knows I do comics. So, like, she would buy the crowdfunder, and I would. She came to my house one day and she saw the paper. She's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Well, that's the comic." She's like, "That's so big." I'm like, "Well, yeah, they work large and then they shrink it down." So a lot of people don't even know that. So and that's a pretty basic. I didn't know that till I was in my late teens. But
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, but you learned it at a certain point because you're making them. But yeah, they're supposed to be fun, man. They're supposed to be enjoyable. They're supposed to be fun to make also. Like you're supposed to have a lot of fun making it. Dude, imagine if you could do this for a living. Like it's work. I'm not. Yeah. Nowhere will I ever say this isn't work. It's draining. You're exhausted. You're at the
16
table.
hours or more. If you were to do it full time.
Yep, full time. So you're there all day. All day. Yeah. It's a job. It's work. But dude, it's fun. Like it's fun. It can be aggravating. Like you said, oh, I can't figure out how to do this pose. I can't figure out how to do this. It's kind of frustrating. It can be, but at the end of the day, once you see that piece finish, you're like, man,
I'm glad I pushed myself.
I'm
Like,
glad I pushed myself. Yeah.
I try to like find like things that I don't comfortably like to draw, you know, or just like genres or I don't know. Like I try to do new things, you know what I mean? Like get uncomfortable kind of, you know,
Well,
even if it comes
dude,
out fucked up.
oh no, yeah, but that's great because that's also how like people like Hockey and Luke have excelled so fast, and so for you know, like Hockey excelled, like is because they kept drawing every day things that they weren't comfortable drawing, but then they learned like, okay, well, I can't draw this really all that well. I'm going to keep working at it. They chip away, and eventually, next thing you know, they're just drawing it from memory, and it's dope. So yeah, it just it's that slow progression, and it's how we dude. There's plenty of crap that I struggle drawing women. I still do, you know, and I try to draw more of them more often, but it's just a struggle for me. It just is. I don't know why. Like Frago will say the same thing. Women are his weakness. Women and I can't remember. Yeah, he said another. He has a couple weaknesses, but women was one of his weaknesses. Granted, his look really good, but he's just a humble, modest individual. But I struggle drawing women because my style is so scratchy, detailed, and just women. Women aren't like that. Yeah, women aren't like that.
Stop doing that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I got to hold back with what I do, and so it's a struggle. Yeah,
I'm the same way too. Like when I draw them, I want to put more lines on their faces and shit. And
yeah,
like,
you can't do that.
You can't do that, dude. Every line is like 30 years.
Yeah, and that's why like I don't often draw them anyways, because like I draw the face and like I mainly have more detail and fun with the eyes, like in the lips. That's where I render. That's where I render. But I'm like, I'm not that good at so I don't draw that often. That's why you don't see too many like pieces of mine of women, because I'm like, well, it's too quick. I'm done drawing the face already.
Yeah, it's already done.
So it's already done.
And then you gotta hit that body like in one stroke a lot of the time too. Like you gotta nail them hips and them boobs like all like in one, and it has to look good like that one line. You know, like for me, like that's how I think, you know.
Well, and like I know where you detail them up would be like the clothes or, you know, accessories, bags, stuff like that. But that's the boring stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man. Yeah. So yeah.
My wife's like, why don't you draw more of those like the pinup stuff, you know, like those things sell, you know, like you know, I'm just like, you know, I'm just not really into it too much. Like I'd be down sometimes, or like maybe someone asked me or pay me, or like if I a character that was cool like that, but it just like I'm not really into that too much, you know. Like, but it just has to depend on the piece, you know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm more into the monsters, the villains, the you know the creatures, the wrinkled up you know hero even you know or something like that. Like it's just I'm more into drawing that. That's just the like you know I much would rather draw a xenomorph over Ripley.
Yeah, definitely. It's just boring to me, you know.
Yeah. It's boring. Like, yeah, you make her look cool with a plasma rifle, you know, and some like marine gear on and stuff like that. But I could draw a xenomorph.
It's like
that's way cooler.
Like, can I get away? Can I like if it's like a commission? Like, can I give her like a gun on it, like a gun arm, or like can I? Give her a jetpack or a peg leg or something? To something like fucked up, you know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
I make her fat, you know, like.
Her face is gnarly. Oh, she got acid on her face. Oh no.
I love that,
Ripley.
Man.
Poor Ripley. But yeah, no, it's gonna be dope, dude. So you know, pick it up, sign up. It's like I said, it kind of sounds like oh, he's just going through the abyss to fight a dog. But you got to see our versions of these things aren't typical. They're not, and we try to keep. It's our spin on it. So Cerberus. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. And we also have a variant cover by Carl Stefan Chubbs from Merry Boys. So,
he's oh man, I love Merry Boys.
Talk about one of the most underrated. Like
underrated for sure. Yeah.
Insanely underrated. Like I like Preston, Rob Willis. Like dude, Chubbs is up there too.
Oh yeah,
he's so good, good. So
he's doing some digital stuff too. It's like damn, like seeing his stuff makes me want to just switch to digital. Like that was another thing like I was thinking about doing like in the next couple of years, because I just do traditional, you know. But I was like, because I could probably get more work done if I switch to digital. You know, but it's, you know, I don't know.
It's yes and no. Like the way I work on comic pages mainly, actually, or usually like a comic image of any kind almost. Because it's because my eyes suck mainly, but I digitally will do like the outline, so to speak. Like, so like the outline of the body, you know, if they have tiny eyes, I'll draw in the eyes, maybe the lips, then I'll print it, and then I'll put in all the sexy, as Todd McFarlane says, you know, like this, the cross hatching, the hard shadows. Like, I'll actually ink the piece then. Now, it's hard to do if you're not confident enough, or just if you care too much about like where things specifically have to go, because I will make things up as I go. But so I do, it's like a 20-80 split, 20% digital, 80% traditional. The problem with digital, like there's a lot of pros and cons. One big con is I for drawing, it slows you down because you could zoom in.
Yeah.
That's also why I like to do what I do. Like if I print it up, things get smaller then, because like I could zoom in and like, okay, well I could draw his pupil then, because my eyes are bad, so I couldn't be able to see it to draw it. So I zoom in, I draw the eye, zoom out, I print it. I'm like, wow, that eye is really insanely tiny. I can't even ink that now. So if you work traditionally, you hold back on a lot of those the unnecessary things that aren't really fully necessary. But when you're, dude, I saw Shelby coloring a variant cover of a comic. I don't know what it was for, but it was an homage to Korn's one of Korn's albums, the one with Freak on a Leash on it, with the Todd McFarlane, the girl running off the cliff.
Yeah, leader.
So he he was coloring it, and he had zoomed in. He was coloring the bottom of her shoe. He's like, "Hey, doesn't that look dope?" He's like, "And you know what? You'll never see it, because when you zoom out, it'll be this big." And yeah, it disappears. So you could do a lot, because you could zoom in, add that cool detail, make it so it slows you down in that regard, because you're just putting you're putting in things that aren't really necessary, just because they won't be seen in the book.
They'll be printed. Yeah, it's just
they'll be printed, but it'll be so small it won't even be a dot. It'll be half of a dot. So yeah, and
they're flipping the page if the story's good. You know what I mean? And
dude, half the 20 seconds at most for a page. So they're not really, people aren't really looking at it all that much.
And a lot of the time, like I'll like, if I love the artist work, then I'm gonna like slowly like start turning through the page and looking at it. But most of the time, dude, I'm flipping through that motherfucker. Even if the art's like immaculate, I actually forget sometimes. Like, hey, dude.
But that is also
like,
but that's the thing. You just said it there. You're an artist also, though. So even then, though, you will sometimes slow down and look at the art. Most people who are fans, they just read them. They don't do that. They read them. It's about 20 seconds a page. They read them, flip it, read it, flip, read it. They're not analyzing all the little things.
Yeah.
Now we enjoy doing it. We have fun making it that way. So try digital. I'm not saying don't. It's fun, man. Don't get me wrong.
I'm gonna dumb it down. And like for me, it's like what I would like about it is like, oh, I'm gonna tweak this head real quick, boom, boom, boom. Because otherwise, I'm erasing the whole thing. You know, I have
and
to
that's
go back
one of the pros.
The whole, and that's what I want to do with it. And if I'm gonna do it, I'm not gonna zoom in at all. Like
that's one of the pros.
I won't even zoom in, dude.
You will.
I mean, a little bit, like, but not too much, because I know the whole point would be to like just get shit done. Because I want to get to the point where I'm doing a black and white one-shot story every year, 40 pages.
Yeah.
Like that's the sweet spot. I could do it all by myself.
Yep.
Hire a letterer and an editor and a proofer, and that's it,
Yep.
And that's the goal. Not now.
Yeah, like, oh yeah. Well, like, but yeah, like you were saying, that is a pro. You can just shape it. You don't really have to erase all too much. If you could just, I drew them too small. Boom, blow them up. I'm good. Like you could. That's fantastic. To me, the biggest drawback of digital, you don't have original art to sell.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's it.
Another thing, that was like one thing I was like, fuck. Yeah. But another thing cool too about digital is like, when you're doing your layouts, have like, for me, like they always have the best energy for me. Because when I draw a layout like just on copy on printer paper, then I go and I redraw that on 11x17, right? And it never has the same energy. The pencils, the new pencils, it never has the same energy. So if I'm just doing that like on digital, I just do that rough and then come back over it with the ink. It's already got that energy. Or
you'll maintain the energy.
Use the pencils, or I'll just probably use that fucking straight up what it is and just kind of tweak a couple little things.
And that's why I think also like my stuff maintains that energy, because I'm doing stuff like that. Like I have the layout, like I work in maybe 2 or 3 steps sometimes. Like I'll do the layout, real quick gesture of a wireframe, with this boom, 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 that's going there, boom, done. And then I'll go in and then I'll put like, okay, the sphere, the outline of the forearm, the wireframe is just for depth and direction. So so if I have let's say I do like a forearm and I'm doing it a certain way, I'm like, oh, because I tend to go over lines. Some people don't. I do. So when I'm doing a wireframe, it's all loose and I go over a lot of lines. I'm like, oh, I like that line has a different one than the line above it. I'm gonna follow that one whenever I do it, and it does keep that energy. And like you're saying, that's a good thing. Yeah.
And it's like, and then for me, like I it's fun, but it's also like I want it to be like just a bunch of balloons. You know what I mean? Like I don't want any type of anything in there. Like the less detail at all, like no detail. Like just a bunch of like balloons, like a balloon animal. You know?
I'm trying to think.
Because I know if I do that, then I'm going to bring some energy in with the pencils, and then there'll be some more with the inks too. You know? Because then the inks just always just lock it in, bro. They fucking lock it in.
I'm trying to think of there's plenty of artists that I like that have a less detailed approach to things that are just like phenomenal. And I just can't. One isn't popping into my head right now, but I could picture the style. It's kind of a more cartoony style, but not like it still has some realism to it. But as long as you keep that flow and like you pay more attention to the shape of the line and the form, and then you don't have to. And then it's mainly shadow at that point. I don't want to say Frank Miller because it's not who I'm thinking of. But if you look at like Sin City stuff, it's really not highly rendered. It's just hard shadow. So, but it has an energy to it because there's form. So it's a lot of shape. But that's not who I'm thinking of though. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. And that would be fun to experiment with, even like if you do like even like a 24 pager real quick, and just put that out there and try that style out on a smaller book, and that way you don't need as much crowdfunding money at that point to print it. So and then you could have a new IP out there or something, and that'd be a new product. And that
I want to put out a work. I'm planning out the next 10 years. I mean, 9 years now, but like I want to have a body of work to put out.
Oh yeah,
I want like 10 books. You know? What I mean? The best I can, and if they come out the way they come out that way, you know what I mean, and I move on to the next one story, because for me, I think it's cool if I get a book and it's just like a beginning, a middle, and end from a crowdfund, and it's like 40 pages or more for like $35. I'm cool with that,
right?
If I got the money and shit, and to me and there's no loose ends, and it's just a big one hitter quitter, and if it's got dope art and dope story, fuck yeah, and if it's black and white, that's cool too,
Yeah, we like the black and white stuff. There's most people. And that's why I'm glad Frog is colored, because most people do like the colored stuff. I mean, I really dig both. I'm fine. Like, I like comics that have colors like inks. So, like the more painterly stuff, watercolor paintings. Yeah, more of a grit to it, more of a texture. I like stuff like that. Black and white.
Dude. For me, they're more like because like if you look at Bisley's work, which is the same thing that you guys do on each page. Each page of that Frog G is an art piece.
Oh, you're too kind.
That's how Bisley's a lot of his work is. Each page is an art piece. He doesn't like have this like structure. You know what I mean? He's doing like a work of art. Even if it's like a little kid, some of his shit looks like little kid shit, and some of his shit looks like the best artist of all time painted it. And either way, it's a work of art. Each fucking page is like that in the comic.
Well, I think
work for me.
One thing to help with that, I think, is like Eric Canetti mentioned this on a stream. Like whenever you're drawing, like not every panel can be 100%. With your quality. Like so, maybe like one panel's 70%, the other's 80%, and then but if it's a 4-panel page, you got 3 that are at 70 to 85. You have one that's 100. That's your key panel. Make that bombastic, and that's what people are going to really love and see, because like we said earlier, 20 seconds a page. So if you make just one panel, that's the one that's going to stick out to them whenever they're doing their 20 seconds. So and that gives it then that like you said, like an artistic feel to it then at that point. And it's also speeds up the process a little bit. Now we try to put in 100% on every panel. We try to. It doesn't always happen. Like sometimes we're like, I can't put in any more to this, and I want to, but I got to keep going. So the
story's got to get told. You
got to get told. So that's why like every now and then I'll be like, oh, this panel's this panel's this one. I think I could, even if it's a head, like a big thing of a head. Oh, I'm going to render the crap out of this head. I'm going to spend 2.5 hours on this head. Yeah. So
I've heard some pros even say that they do. Say if it's 5 panels on a page, they pick one panel where they just go in there and they fucking go balls deep on that one panel. Like I don't want to say his name, but he's one of the biggest artists of all time. And I'm like, oh, he said that? Preston told me. And I was just like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't go full bore every panel. Like you
No,
can.
It's good for the story sometimes too, in a way, because it's kind of, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing: if every panel is full bore and insane, people might get bored.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no variation, so they might be like, eh.
It's got to be like a roller coaster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to ups and downs, peaks and valleys. You know.
Yep.
And it has to have that suspense of when the next bomb piece is going to hit. You know. And some shit isn't that important. You know, it's not relevant.
Yeah, it's not relevant.
It's not relevant in the story too much because you're just moving. You know.
Right.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's more people watching now than all night.
Oh, hey, welcome everybody. Hit that like, subscribe if you're new to the channel.
Sign up for Frog G. I got the link in the chat right there.
Please do. Yeah, that'd be nice.
The first book is awesome. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. You're too kind, dude. You're too kind. There's going to be a catch up tier on the second campaign as well. So people who missed out. The good thing also about the second campaign is, us waiting until it's fully done, is it'll be later in the year. So hopefully, economy will be flipped a little bit, coming back a little bit. So. Hopefully, people have a little extra money now. Most crowdfunders are about 25. We're gonna maybe do 20. Just because times are tough.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So this is another thing that is a bit highly contentious, is like the price point of a lot of these things. It always is. But like we discussed earlier, these things take a lot of time. Like, so you work a full-time job. I work a full-time job. You have a family. I mean, I have a family. I don't have kids, but I have a family. I'd love to spend time with them. Everything that we do on these things is time away from that. It's also like we worked, whatever, 10 hours that day at our job, 8 hours, whatever it is. Then we come home, relax for 20 minutes, and then spend 4 hours doing this. So it's a second full-time job. So it's time away from everything. So you want to get paid is what I'm getting at. You want to get paid. You want to get paid for the work that you do. This is work, like we said earlier. So that's another reason why not only are they on, it's more prestigious. The paper quality is better than regular comics. Usually the story and art is better than most comics that are out there. Although you review plenty of books. There's plenty of great stuff out there from the mainstream. I'm not knocking it. I buy them. But usually it's better. So the price points are a little higher. And that's why. So lowering it a little bit, we're taking a cut out of what we make. So you want to get paid for your work is what it boils down to. And we're not mainstream. So it's not like we get a $200 page rate. So it's just the way it is. You want to get paid for what you do, for time away from your family, for all the hours and hours and hours and hours that you put into a page. It's just the way. It's one reason why the price points are usually the way they are. And also, it costs a lot of money to print these things and to ship them.
Yeah,
so,
the shipping is gone up.
Shipping's
printing
shipping's
every
insane.
year, especially
every year
out
it goes
of
up.
America.
Every year it goes up. But like I said, we're gonna do it at 20. Just like you said, because we want to help people out. Like, we're not cold-hearted. Yeah. So, I mean, we've said it on live streams before, so we're kind of stuck in with it now. So no matter what, if we're like, oh, it's now 60 pages. Well, it's $20.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like I said. So hopefully we can work it out so that we have the story, like the Voodoo Priestess story, in the book at the back end. We would like it to be 12 pages, but we got to keep our page count right. The paper stock, we want it to be just right, because you can't have it too thick, saddle stitched, and then next thing you know, it's just bowing open, and then it doesn't really fly, man. So yeah, but
saddle stitch is awesome too, man. You get more art,
Yeah. Well, like I said, you're gonna get Hockey's leveled up a lot, and he's drawing Voodoo Priestesses, and his women are phenomenal. He draws great women. So
that's good.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be fun. Inkspots is writing it. I don't have a hand in that one. I'm like, dude, I just want to focus on the book. So because that Sarnuno story that you have, that kind of took its toll on us a little bit. Just because it was just we were stretching ourselves too thin at that point.
Yeah. It's good to have someone. It's good to have a team. It feels good to have people you're working with. It's hard doing a one-man show all the time. It
is, and it kind of is like I know Ink is coloring it, and it's a 2-man show at that point, but us two together make one. So it's it's still just us, and doing everything on top of that with that Sarnunos book. Like I said, like he had to draw it, and then I had to go back in, ink it this with that absolute style that I had. So it just he had to develop the story. It took a different turn than what he wanted. Like it just stretched too thin on everything, and it also prolonged the campaign a little bit. And we're like, yeah, we're just gonna let's outsource the supplemental. That way we don't even have to worry about it. We just have to focus on the book. Ink is writing it, so it's not like that's going to take too much time out of his hands. It's not a it's not a 70 pager. It's 8 to 12 pages. He could write that pretty quick. So yeah, but yeah, it's going to be dope, dude. We're having a lot of fun. And then after this is the third book, and that's the last one for Frog. Now, we did say this live, I think, on Topicless. So anyway, we are planning on doing it's not, we were going to do it as a flip book, but it's kind of like a flip book where there's going to be 2 stories in one book, but it's going to be a 24 pager. And Ink is going to do 12 pages. I'm going to do 12 pages of just different IPs. Mine is going to be still in the Absolute universe, but I'm going to have different characters. Cool. Yeah, so it'll be, I could play with other characters, develop them, and maybe then do a 48 pager later on. Ink is going to do just different stories that he wants to do, play with different mediums and different techniques. So it's going to be like a little playing ground. We're hoping to do one of those a year, along with one of our main titles, whether it be Frog G, Metal Mayhem Rock Boy, or Absolute. So we're hoping to put out 2 books a year. Because, dude, 12 pages, I can knock out 12 pages. If I really sat down and did it, I could knock out 12 pages in 3 weeks. Easy. So that's a no-brainer.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. Like I said, that's if I every single day. That's me.
Yeah, like regimented. Like for me, like I had dude, because I haven't been drawing on my. I got my drafting board now, and so I'm like fucking doing work now. Like, and then I have the white light, so I'm not. I was drawing on my lap for like fucking 3 years or longer.
I didn't know that. You did all Butch Cleaver in your lap?
I'd say about 80% of it. Because I did like crazy. A couple pages on, in the second book. The first book, that one was all over the place. But the second book, I did a couple pages on this board.
Wow.
And then I switched over, and then everything else, all my pieces, I was just doing on like a regular your board you get from like Michael's, on my lap.
Jeez.
And so I just got tired. I would be falling asleep. You know what I mean? Like leaned over, like just like that. And I'm like,
yeah, it's not good for your back either. Yeah.
Now I'm just like, dude.
At all. Yeah.
Got my light and like I'm fucking like
nice.
On a couple podcasts and like I'm getting more. I'm way more productive just in the last week. I'm like, fuck,
nice.
I finished that page. I finished 2 pages already. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't, and I try to do a page a week. With layouts, pencils, and then inks. And
honestly that's a good pace. Like I said, we work 40 hours plus, like 40 hours plus a week. A page a week for like I know your shifts aren't normal. And your work hours aren't normal. So for a page a week for you, that's really good.
I'm trying, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do a bunch of stuff. And like the book that I worked on, it was supposed to be done a year ago, or I'm working on, it's supposed to be done a year ago. And I try for me, like I try not to focus just on one thing for too long. I want to be working on 3 things. That way I
can't do that.
Because I worked on Butch Cleaver for 10 years, the first 2 books,
Wow.
And it was just like focused, regimented as best as I could, and I felt that like some pages, like I'm just hammering, and I was just like, yeah, you know what? I could do that. And then I want to have a side project where there's no official like launch date. It's just there. I work on it. You know what I mean? And so that way I could take a break from right now I'm working on Hell War. I could go work on, another book like me and Brian are doing one called The Puritanian. I'll go work on that, and Brian will write a few pages and, I'll work on that. Give myself a break. I got rejuvenized. I'm inspired, and then I go back to Hell War, and I'm just like, so just kind of jumping around, you know what I mean? And I've been doing that. I'm going to be doing that for a while now, Yeah. So.
No, I mean, it makes sense. Like, because I jump around with music, like I'm listening to this and that and this and that and this and that. And that. I mean, I don't really I could listen to a full Pantera album just fine, but it is nice to have a break of like some Leonard Cohen tossed in there. You know what I mean? It's just to break things up a little bit. So it does make sense. I kind of can't work. I mean, I kind of can, but can't work that way. I prefer to work straight through. Like,
Yeah.
let's finish this one, then I could do the next thing, and then the next thing. That's just the way I prefer to work. It makes sense with what you're saying, because like, but here's the thing: whenever I'm doing that, I'm like, let's say I'm drawing a page of Frog. Next day, I might do a layouts for Frog, and then I'll do a sketch cover of just Superman. So like that's kind of my break, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my jumping point. Or I just ink a random 11x17 thing for like 3.5 hours of nonsense, and then I'm done, and then I'll work on it later. So
that's where your out is.
That's where my out is. So it does.
I
Make
never
sense.
had that before. I would never do that.
Let me ask you this, because you said something that made me curious. Because I've seen it happen with a lot of other people. So you worked on Butch Cleaver, you developed it for 10 years. So whenever, let's say you start page 1, and then by page 72 is 6 years later. Obviously, it's a stretch, but it's like your style is developed. Like you've developed as an artist. So how do you feel about like it changing in that regard from like page 1 to that, because you've grown so much as an artist?
I hate it.
Nice.
Fucking can't stand it. But it's just like I have to own it, because I can go back and I could go back and redraw. Like I want to go back and redraw the first page, And I was
but if you do that, then but by the time you catch up, you're going to be even more developed, and then you got to go back and do it again.
And so I won't do it, But I hate it, and I've noticed that even all the time.
Yeah, because you've leveled up a lot, man. So yeah,
thanks, man. I appreciate it. Like because I did a Butch Cleaver 1 that was just straight ass. Like no one ever seen it, and I was like, yeah, this is fucking dope, dude. This shit's tight, And I look at it, I'm like, dude, that's fucking ass. So I fucking threw that shit away. I still have it for knee smacking. Yeah, and then I went back and then I did what we have Butch Cleaver now. Now I'm like, that's just ass. You know what I mean? And like I want it. My buddy's like, dude, hey, this is pretty cool, man. But in 10 years or 5 years, you're gonna want to come back and redo this. I'm like, nah, I'm pretty confident with that. That looks pretty cool. And then he's like, nah, you're gonna want to come back and redo this in about 10 years or 5 years. And now, like, sure enough, I want to go back and redraw like everything I've done before, but I'm not gonna do it. I never will.
Not right now. Now, who's to say maybe after 10 years, you're where you want to be. You're working comics full time. That's your living. You're getting residuals, or you're getting you have back inventory. So at cons, you're actually making enough money to sustain yourself for a month. You might be like, you know what? Let's revisit Butch Cleaver. Let's do a master edit on it, and let's redo the whole thing. And like, who's to say that may not happen? So right now, you reasonably so, dude. I wouldn't want to go back and redo any of the stuff. It would take too long. Like, forget about it. I got stuff I got to do. But if you're cemented enough and comfortable enough in your life situation, you may very well. So yes, right now, no, I get it. Yeah, but you can't say you never will, because you don't know what'll happen.
What I would do is I would do just like him, because there's dude, I got like hundreds of stories I want to tell in Butch Cleaver. That's my ultimate baby, where I just kind of want to go back and play in there.
Yeah, that's your Cerberus. That's your Spawn. That's your Savage Dragon. Yeah, that's your Spider-Man. Yeah. I get it. Yeah,
and I have the third book already. It's called Butch Cleaver Carnival Freak Show Circus. That's the third, the third one, and it's already written. The script's done and everything. But it's like I want to finish that one, and the stories after that, I would probably just sum up the whole like origin, boom, 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 in one page. Like right when you write the first page would just be the catch up, And I would love to go back and redo it, but it's just like now, like I would just kind of really want to just play around in there and just keep going. You know what I mean? And I want people to see like kind of how fucked up it is, like where I was, And I don't want to go back and re-edit anything. I want them to see like, damn, this guy fucking. Hopefully he got better, like from where he was, Like look at those word balloons and look at that font, and look at the tails on those word balloons, and look at the anatomy, like
No, I hate lettering. Yeah, but no, I get it. I get what you're saying. Yeah,
really raw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know it's kind of dumb. But...
Well, like I don't think I would ever revisit. I say I don't think, but I don't know. I don't think I would ever revisit Absolute 1 or 2, but I can't say that. Maybe I would want to go back and polish it. I don't know. I'm happy with it for sure. Yeah. One thing I would like to do maybe with the second book would be to extend it, actually, because I actually had to. I wanted to keep things saddle stitched, so I had to shorten the pages on it technically. So I had to edit the story at the very end because I was an idiot and I didn't lay everything out ahead of time and write things out ahead of time. So I just did it as I went, and then I was like, this is getting to be like 50 something pages, and I'm not done yet. So I had to hurry up and wrap it up. So
that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Hell War. I'm at like 70 pages, and like it was supposed to be like a 50-page book, and now it's going to be like 90 pages. You know,
Jeez,
and
dude.
so it's like, damn, how am I going to do this? And it's going to be a square magazine size book.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah,
it's gonna. Well, I mean, it's no, I mean not square bound. It's square.
Oh, it's gonna be magazine sized. Oh, nice.
Magazine sized, but square, completely square.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it won't be like a long, like vertical book. It's gonna be a square book.
Oh, nice.
So the paneling is weird. That's another thing too. So I'm doing page layouts in squares, right? So like Calvin and Hobbes, right? And so, but each page is a splash page if you want it to be, because it's just so big. Like there's a lot of shit you can do. So I'm looking at 300 from Frank Miller. I'm gathering inspiration from these weird stuff. Holy Terror, love it, hate it, fuck it, whatever. It's got that weird format. So I'm taking inspiration from that shit. But when I jump over on the stuff with Brian, like the Puritanian or something, I could do that 11 by 17. I'm like, yeah, you know, I get to come down here now, you know, because I do a lot of wide shots, a lot of wide panoramic shots, panels and stuff like that with Hell War, you know.
Oh, nice.
So it's weird, dude. Like it's kind of weird.
Oh,
but
that's cool,
it's gonna be weird to print it because I have a lot of ambitions for that book, and it's probably not gonna come out the way I wanted it to, like a lot of the goals I have for it. But I'm aiming for the sky, and I'm just gonna keep pushing, and hopefully it'll come out the way I want it to do. You know,
that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. You know, you
could have been done with it by now too. Like I'm a year late, so.
Well, but you're not a year late because there's no campaign for it.
Nah, and I want to.
You know what I mean?
Done.
You're a year late for your own personal deadline, is what it is.
Yeah.
And I get it. That really sucks. Yeah. So like my deadline is I want to be done with the first half of Frog 2 by the end of this month. Pretty feasible deadline if I'm on page 18 out of 24 pages then in that regard right now, and it's the the 11th, so 12th technically. So feasible. I think I can do it. So that's my personal deadline. Now if I don't make it, it'll suck. But it's not like I'm going to get paid less money. It's not like the campaign's going to be late. So it's just like with Hell War. It's late because your own personal deadline, but at least the campaign isn't late and you have upset backers, which I get. I there's books I haven't gotten yet that I'm pretty upset about. So
it's like the story too. That's another thing. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to get rid of pages too, because it's not, there's shit that's not going to be relevant. And it's like, fuck, I'm like there's pages in here I know I'm going to get rid of. There's none of them I'm going to get rid of now.
So
but it's like,
have you been drawing it? Have you been drawing it the past year?
Yeah.
So
penciling and inking. Yeah.
So do you feel this is going to suck? Do you feel you leveled up since then?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, it sucks.
I can look at pieces where I go, oh damn, I just leveled up right there, you know. And I level up too, like quicker when I'm drawing all the time. This year I did a lot of commissions this year. Like nice. It was weird. I just really wanted to start doing commissions and working with people. I just thought it would be a fun artistic journey, you know. Yeah. And it was. And now I kind of try to. That's another thing, dude. I try to do like commit. That's another. I would have been done if I didn't do commissions. But
yeah, but commissions pay.
They pay, yeah. And it's like I've learned stuff from that. Like and I bring that into my books, you know. So it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna draw a fisheye view now. You know what I mean? Or
forget that, dude. I ain't doing no fisheye view.
Yeah.
You're a lunatic.
Yeah, and it might come out fucked up, but it's like, yeah, you know, if it looks cool, it looks okay, and it's the best I could do, and I'm like, I'm cool with it. It looks all right, you know. And the next one will be better too. The next one, I'm gonna get better. But I guess I'm not gonna get better at fisheyes unless I keep trying to do them, you know.
True.
So and watching like, how does this motherfucker fisheye? And I'll watch the videos and
I saw
people's bones.
I saw this one artist, Megan Hetrick, do a fisheye. I'm like, I ain't doing that. That's way too much. Like, that's too complicated for me.
It's like complicated, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like,
yeah, it's weird.
Know.
Yeah,
it's distorted.
Yeah,
there's little planes in there where it's not distorted. You know, on the outside, it's like, ooh. Yeah. When you come in, it's like, oh.
Yeah, you're a brave guy for tackling fisheye, man.
And I stare at a lot of fisheyes all day at work. So I kind of think about that. Not necessarily not saying that I know how to do it or if what I'm doing looks good, but I'm trying. It's helping me a little bit, kind of understand that lens of reality, that focus of reality. Fucking weird.
Yeah.
And there's artists that break it down pretty cool, like Daniel Warren Johnson. He had a pretty cool breakdown on that's another artist I really like.
Yeah,
on,
Daniel Warren Johnson's dope, dude.
dude, that guy leveled me up, bro. Like whether people like my art or hate it or not, but me, like, I learned a lot from watching him draw live. Like, what the fuck? I got fearless and not gave a fuck about anything, because a lot of the time I was like scared I'm gonna fuck up my piece. And so now, like, what I could do with like effects like whiteout and things like that, and just kind of go and attacking the piece and not giving a fuck, and new tools like those erasers that use the mechanical erasers, dude. Oh my god. Like, I wish I had that 20 years ago, for like the lighting and for the wrinkles and everything. The ones by Tombow, and the fucking Tombow pins, dude.
Playgirl uses the Tombos quite often.
Fuck,
yeah.
I wish I had those 20 years ago, because I'm sitting there like my line gets all fucked up, and then I go in there with a Tombow. I'm like, motherfucker, like, because you could get that organic line, you get that woman, like that hip line, you know what I mean? You get that breast in there, like with that one swoop, you can get that nice hair, like organic hairline, and like, I'm sitting there with like microns, like, you can't get that, you know. And then
I'm a micron guy. Yeah. I know.
Use those still.
Yeah,
microns and that Pentel brush fill.
But see, like what you're saying is why I like the microns, because they're I don't know, they're less reliable, and I like that. They give me a scratchier, sketchier feel. Yeah. So, you know, they're not as consistent as a Tombow. So I enjoy that because with a nib is almost the same with me. If I'm working with the nibs, the line pressure varies. With a micron, it just happens naturally because they're just not as reliable. So they just have that
random,
variation. Right? Yeah, it's random. So it gives me that nib look that I kind of like, that I don't really have. And they're so much faster. Like, that's why I'm on page 17. I've been working more nibs because I'm trying to do, or more microns. I've been trying to do, like, if there's major action sequences, I want those to be nib, because they're going to have more of a texture. They're going to give it more of that vibe to it. I could do it with microns still, but it's not, it doesn't still have that same depth to it almost that I do. So I've been doing other pages with microns more because it's a faster approach. I don't have to dip the pen. I don't have to wait for the ink to dry on the page and worry about accidental smears, because I smear a lot and on purpose. Yeah. So I don't have to worry about accidental smears at that point. I just go straight in and go full ham, and I can detail up a page depending on what it makes. Like the one page that I did of my last Frog G video, I think it's my last video I did on my YouTube channel. That detailing that page only took me about an hour and a half to hour 45 minutes. And it's an 11 by 17 page. I think there's like 5 panels in it. So not all that long to detail it. Now the actual whole page itself maybe took me, 5-6 hours, because of laying it out, trying to figure things out, doing all that crap. But once I printed it and detailed it, because I was working with microns, I flew through it. Now, if I was doing pen and ink, I was doing dip pen, it would have taken me at least 3 to 4 times longer.
I love nibs, but they're also fucking like dangerous too, and there's a lot of maintenance in there too. Like, especially if you're coming home, like or clean up too, like, and that's the danger of it spilling out, all over the piece.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've done it so many times. Well, I'm terrible with my nibs. I don't really clean them. I go through them like crazy. Dude, nib holders, forget about it, man. Because I leave the nib in there, so, and I don't really clean them all that often. So it gets glued in with all the ink that gets built up. So I try to take the nib out and it'll just shatter. So I got to throw away the nib holder with the nib. Yeah, so I go through nib holders and nibs like crazy, because my upkeep is the worst. I am terrible with that stuff, but I just don't want to do it. It's just laziness. But
switched over to microns too recently is Walter Simonson. He's like, oh wow. He's like, because he never used them. And he's like, oh, wow, I'm getting work done quick in here. It's
like, so much faster, yeah.
And I'm like, that's perfect for his work, because he has a lot of lines,
Oh, yeah.
I think, because, I don't know, I think his work's, I love Walter Simonson.
Dude, I love Walter. I have the Thor Walters. Dude, I have the Thor Walter Simonson artist edition. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm jealous.
It's dope. I got to get Ragnarok.
So good, dude.
I've heard you talk about it. Yeah.
I can't wait, man. He's going to be working on that too. He just finished that big his Sistine Chapel, that piece he's been doing for like you know what I'm talking? That one that's like it's dope, dude. Ragnarok's so cool, man. It's like, you just got to get it.
I got to get it. I got to pick it up. I'm a Simonson fan, dude. I've always dug his stuff. The Frank Miller, the RoboCop Terminator.
Dude, I want that. I need to go back and get his store shit too, man.
Dude, Shelby has the artist edition of that.
Oh, I'm like, Shelby's got all the dope shit, man.
Shelby's got all the dope stuff, man. That's why I hang out with him.
He's got the dope stories too. He's entertaining as fuck. He's funny too.
Yeah, he's a bit of a talker. He's a bit of a talker.
I'm a talker too, man. So is my.
Yeah, but that's good.
It's just part of my personality, you know. Like I'll just keep talking. I won't shut up.
But that's good. It creates content. There's always conversation to be had. You know, dude, I run out of things. I do. I'm like, kind of done. Like, I don't know what else to say.
I get it from my dad. It's like, and my grandpa. We're just fucking, you know, we talk a lot.
I talk more definitely in this setting than I do in reality.
I do now more too. Yeah,
dude, when a lot of people at my job, I don't think like me. I just think they're indifferent towards me. I don't think they like me or hate me. I just think they're indifferent towards me because, one, with the bad eyeballs, I really don't look at people all that much because I don't want to look at them and nod, and they're not looking at me like an idiot. I don't want to look at them, and I can't really see them too well. And then they nod or like smile or do whatever, and I can't see it
all the time.
Right, but also,
why is he looking at me this time? You know.
But the other thing is, if I am looking at them and they nod, but I don't see it because I just can't see that part of it, and I don't acknowledge it, I look like a total jerk. So I tend to just look straight and I walk.
That's how my pops is, dude. He only could see through one eye. He had to wear an eye patch. They actually sewed up one of his eyes.
Well, at least they know then that he can't see out of that eye. A lot of people don't know that I'm legally blind. So especially at work. So, and whenever I'm working, I'm listening to like my music or podcast, and I want to hear it. So I really don't want to talk to anyone because I'm trying to hear that while I'm working. So I just don't talk to people. So I think people think like they're indifferent or like, oh, Jason's just kind of mean. I'm like, I'm actually a really nice guy, but I don't talk all that much outside of this setting. Like I might text people once in a while, but I'm not a talker in real actual life. But you get me on a stream. I mean, I'm a flibberty gibbet, you know. I'm just usually I'm all over the place, but maybe it's because I don't talk in real life. So I'm like, I'm gonna get it all out now. Yeah,
and you're in your space. You know what I mean? Like around your friends and stuff, so it's a little easier.
I'm around friends.
You're grinding too. At the same time, at work, you're grinding too. You're probably like this.
You're grinding. Not only that, like I'm around. Like you like comic books, you like movies, you like music. We like similar things. We have plenty to talk about. Normal people don't talk about and don't like it 90% of the things we do. So, you know, there's nothing I have to say. And I'm sorry, I can't talk about people. I can talk to them about, but what's they're like, so I went to this muscle car rally, and I'm like, out, I'm done.
You got that same set of Craftsman wrenches, you know?
I'm like, nope, done, out.
Like, tools are cool, you know, they're good to have for bullshit, you know, but it's like, I'm not, you know, and all that. I'm not into sports either. I mean,
I'm not into sports. I always make fun of Shelby because he'll bring up baseball and football, and I'm like, dude, let's keep talking about sports, man. 80% of your chat doesn't care. Keep going, dude. Nice.
I get bored, dude. Like the only sports I could watch, I could kind of watch football, like for the Super Bowl for the commercials, and like people are smashing each other. Kind of watch it, but I don't. And then MMA I could watch, and boxing I could actually watch that.
Violence.
But I don't watch it.
It's violent, and my whole thing is also with sports. What's the score and who won? That's all I need to know. That's it. That's all the information you really need. I don't have a fantasy football team or baseball team. Like I'm not like integrated into the stats because I don't need to know for financial purpose who did what.
Right.
I'm a normal human being that would watch it. But why watch it whenever in about 2 hours I can just find out who won?
And it's like people geek out on that shit. We could get on this shit. And it's like everybody geeks out on something, and everybody like they don't like this. They don't like to use the word geek because you know what I'm talking about. Dude, you're geeking out on cars. You're geeking out on fucking sneakers. You're geeking out on fucking tools. You know what I mean? Like we're geeking out on comics and movies and fucking and art. You know, it's like
we're geeking out on nerd stuff is the thing. You know what I mean? Like they geek out about cool things. It's like whatever. Granted, although with the way pop culture has come around in the current age, like nerd stuff has become cool, but they don't know what it's about. So
but they're like kind of I don't want to sound like a fucking like a cunt, but it's like they're kind of posery in some ways, you know.
They're posery. Yeah.
It's like they kind of posturing. I don't know.
But here's the thing. I guess I could say the term I tolerate it. I deal with it because at least they're enjoying it and consuming it in some way. Like I talked to a friend about or plenty of friends actually, just about they're like, I saw the new Captain America movie. I didn't like it as much as the Spider-Man movie. I'm like, oh, what did you like? I can actually talk to them about it because I know those things are on the same platform but different from these things. Like it's kind of like Elseworlds. It's like Elseworlds.
Yeah.
That's how I view it. It's like those movies aren't canon. Like that's
No.
not really what happened in the comics. But
Yeah.
I view it as Elseworlds. That's
makes
kind of a different telling, or it's a what if. It's you know what I mean. It's like it's a different variation from what you and I grew up with what we know and what we like. You know, stuff that we talk about. It's there, but it's like I guess it's like the X League or whatever for football. Like, you know, XFL.
Yeah,
like
XFL.
It's like that's football, but it's not football.
Right.
So yeah, so I mean, I guess, but yeah, you're trying, you know, good for you. But yeah, and also, like I said before, like we said earlier, my comic knowledge has gone the way of the dodo half the time.
My shit, like, I don't even remember stuff. Like, it's crazy. I forgot more stuff now than, and I'm cool with it now. Like, now I'm just kind of processing stuff, you know. And that's kind of what creators do, though, a lot of time. I'm not saying all of them are like that, but I'm saying most of them are like that. We process everything, and then we move through it. We don't store a lot of shit in our brains. Most artists, you know, like, I mean, there's anomalies there that, you know, like they have, you know, there's you know, but most of us, we're processing everything around and then we're interpreting it onto the board, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's some people that can retain it very well. I just can't do it. But like, I can know enough to where somebody's like, hey, did this happen in the comics? I'm like, yeah, no, it didn't happen that way.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it's, you know, I'm like, yeah, but it's still cool. You know, so yeah, but and like I say, they try. They're at least like, oh, this is kind of fun. Like, well, then you could be like, well, why don't you try reading the comic? They're like, nah, I got time for that. It's like, well, you have time to watch the movie. Like, just read the freaking book.
This movie's fast, dude. Like, just try to read a comic. And I try to tell them it's like a different form of multimedia. It's like if you read a book and read a comic and play a video game, you're gonna get a totally different experience out of all three of those things. Like, nah, I'll go watch the movie and play the video game. Like, all right, well, whatever, dude.
I was outside my LCS selling stuff and all that stuff, and there was a guy that came up. He was a foreign. I don't know if he was from Ukraine or Russia or Pakistan. Like, he had that accent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was talking to me. He was talking about the mainstream stuff. He's like, I really like the Spider-Man movies. He's like, but I don't know where to start with the books. He's like, there's so many. They're so expensive. And I'm like, honestly, I'm like, dude, just pick up a trade. I'm like, they it's easily to consume. You don't have to have the OG. You don't need Spider-Man #1. They reprinted it 1 billion times. Just get the trade that has it in there. You'll consume it just fine. Like, just focus on trades. $15, $20 trade. You're going to be good. And I think that's something, though, that people are very intimidated by when you're like, just read the comic. They're like, well, where do I start? Yeah, where do I start? Yeah. And the other thing is, it's like, well, whenever they start reading the comic, then it doesn't match the movie, because even the comics lore has changed so much from whenever it started that this is canon, that's not canon. Oh, that happened, that didn't happen. Oh, that was a figment of the imagination. Oh, that did this. And they get lost. So it's just, yeah, in 2.5 hours, they can get the thing. Like, it's the thing. All right, I'm good. It's there. Like, yeah. So, yeah. But yeah.
That shit's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's pretty late. It's 3:30. Oh, it's 3:45. Holy crap! Yeah, I know you're over on the other side of the land there.
Yeah, it's a little earlier over here, but it's earlier over there.
Yeah, it's very early over here, dude.
Well, shit, man, you got a show on Tuesday, right? People can find you there.
Yeah. Topicless is going to be on my channel, 9 p.m. Eastern, 9:15 p.m. Eastern. It bounces between Death Metal Hero and me. It'll be on my channel this week. Yeah, we just hang out, we talk, we have fun, people draw, and you know, we try for the most part to keep it drama free. It's just talking pop. It's this. Yeah. It's this with drawing. That's it.
Bullshit.
Yeah. That's what I like to do. That's what I like to do. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be Tuesday. Wednesday night is Bowler in the Beard. It's with me and Hockey. That's at midnight Eastern.
Ooh, nice.
So yeah, you know, tune in for that. That's it's this again with drawing. Like, I like to do the draw streams because I get work done, and I get to hang out with my friends. You know, so why not also, you know, get some watch hours on top of it? So,
yeah, that too.
Yeah.
No,
So yeah,
that's smart.
yeah. Every now and then, Angela Curry and I will have a show on Sundays showcasing a creator. Whenever people reach out to me is when we do it. So I kind of we used to do them every week. I was getting grinded out, man. I was getting stretched too thin because 3 times a week, I'm like, I can't. Yeah, that's like it. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I just want to go live, and I'm like, but I went live already. I'm like, I kind of don't now. Like, so yeah, so it's a lot. So I was like, now usually if people reach out to me, then I'll schedule something. So, but those are just come as they come. So yeah, but yeah, I'm around. You see me. I try to hang out and have a good time.
Absolutely, man. And thanks for coming by, man. It was cool.
Yeah, man.
Having a chat with you. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's a good time. Yeah, it's been a bit. Like I said, I try to watch. Yeah, I know you're busy work, dude. No worries, no worries. I get it. I know how it goes. You know, so I try to watch every Saturday. You know, when you're live. You know, like I said, you stream late my time. It kind of works out. So.
Hell yeah! Thanks for stopping by, man. I always appreciate when I'm streaming and shit. If you ever want to come on too, just
and hey everybody, you can still get Butch Cleaver, people.
Yeah. I deliver it pretty quick.
Yeah,
it's like
pick
a
it up.
store.
It's dope. Get it.
Get the first print.
Yeah. But all right, man. I'm gonna take off.
Sweet, man. Thanks for coming by, brother.
Hey, you're welcome, man. All right. Have a great night.
You too, brother. Peace.
All right. Later.
And yeah, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Be sure to go sign up for Frog G, the Cerebus Key. Book is awesome. The first one, this one's gonna be good too. I know it is. Great experience when you're reading it. Very what's the word? It's like interactive, you know. It kind of takes you to another place when you're reading it. And when I read it, it kind of made me feel like I was reading those old Grimm's fairy tales, you know. And they do kind of reference some stuff that is, I would say, folkloric, you know. But I don't want to spoil too much. You guys got to go check it out. I think you'll like it, and it's all ages too. So I can't really, you know, speak any more about it than that. I mean, it's good for everybody. So thanks again for everybody for hanging out. The 3 people watching right now, I really appreciate it. I'm gonna go and bother my wife for a little bit and try to watch a movie and maybe finish this piece right now. And I always appreciate you guys watching. It means the world to me. You guys have a great week. Keep it going strong, and always remember to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know your role. I'll see you guys next time. And stay fucking metal. Given the night to break down all the beat and take up the blade to cut down all the beats that we have to do that. The baby ever jacked. I'm afraid to name of myself and get the time to pick up with the fear in the eyes of everyone that goes right back. And I felt the cold steel entering my body from all sides. I awakened from a cold cocoon inside a skeletal